You're okay.
You have space there or not?
The troublemakers over there.
Swearing him in for city council.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Ready? Anybody else need to put their? No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year, and welcome to the 31st session of voting for council chair and council pro tem. My name is Lynn Senya. I'm the city clerk. I will be filling in for council chair until we get a minute. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:04. Madam Secretary, will you please take roll?
Hassan Ahmad.
Right here.
Nancy Breyer.
Here.
Robert Constant.
Here.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell. Here. Hassan Saab.
Here.
Tom Wetzel.
Here.
Madam Clerk, you have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, the next item thing on the agenda is a swearing in of Councilman Robidoux by the Honorable Yvonne Abraham.
No, go up in the middle. Go up in the middle. Definitely.
Use the mic. I'll let you do your speech. We could hear you without.
I'm really loud, so you guys might not see the mic, but Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, and citizens of this great city, it is both an honor and a unique pleasure for me to stand here today, not only as a judge, but as a longtime friend and admirer of our City Council Pro Tem Moby Doom. Today marks a momentous occasion, not just in the life of our councilman, but in the life of our city. Having known Mo for many years, I've witnessed firsthand the dedication, integrity, and passion that has led to this very moment. His journey to this position is a testament to his hard work, relentless commitment to community service, and an unwavering belief in the deep understanding of the civic and social dynamics that shape our city. And I say our city because I'm a longtime resident of Dearborn Heights. The City Council Pro Tem, as a leader of this esteemed body, holds the responsibility of steering our city towards progress while balancing the diverse needs and interests of our community. In this role, he is tasked with upholding the public trust, a trust that is the very foundation of the authority. And Mo, your record speaks volumes. As a councilman for the last several years, you've done exactly that as you approach each task with a sense of humility, a willingness to listen, and a steadfast commitment to real and positive differences in the lives of our citizens. Your leadership has shaped the policies and initiatives that have driven our city forward. You have always been committed to a path of service with resolve, wisdom, and dedication. I am confident that as you embark on this journey, your actions will continue to be guided by the principles of transparency, accountability, and inclusivity. You have always embraced collaboration with your fellow council members and engaged actively with the community you serve. You embody the principles of public service, democratic leadership, and commitment to the common good. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to you. May your tenure be marked by success, innovation, and a legacy that reflects the best of what our city can be. We are all here to support you, cheer for you, and work alongside you for the betterment of our community. Now, you can please join me.
I love that speech. One more round of applause for
Oh. Oh, baby.
I, Moby Doom,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan
and the ordinances in and for the City of Dearborn Heights,
and the ordinance and for the City of Dearborn Heights,
and promise to faithfully perform the duties.
and
Promise to faithfully perform the duties
I promise to faithfully perform the duties
of Dearborn Heights City Councilman
of Dearborn Heights City Councilman
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Can't believe you messed it up after 3 times.
Congratulations to all of our new council members, Councilman Muldoon, Councilman Hassan Ahmad, and Councilwoman Denise Malinowski Maxwell. Okay, now, this is my portion. This is the portion of the meeting, is a reorganization that occurs every 2 years. As I stated earlier, this is the 31st time this has been done. We can't hear you. You can't, I'm gonna have to. Councilman, okay, listen, keep the mic. So, in which the members nominate and elect a council chair. At this time, I will accept.
Madam Clerk, I'd open up nominations, please. I'd like to nominate.
Okay, hold on a second.
Support.
Moby Doon is in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay, nomination.
Madam Clerk? I'd like to nominate, well, Madam Clerk, I'd like to nominate Moby Dean.
Second.
Okay, we don't need a second, but, Councilman Baydoun, do you accept that nomination?
I do.
Okay, do I hear a second nomination?
Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Just said this.
Go ahead.
I'd like to nominate myself, Tom Wenzel.
Councilman Wenzel, do you accept that nomination?
Yes.
Okay, that's 2 nominations. Do I have a nomination 3?
Yes. I'd like to nominate Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Denise, do you accept that nomination?
I do.
Nomination 4? Do I hear any other nominations? Do I hear any other nominations? Do I hear any other nominations? Hearing no further nominations, I will entertain a motion to close these nominations.
So moved. Second.
Constant, motion by Councilman Ahmad, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. At this time, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to go in the orders that they were nominated on. So it would be Moby Dean would be first, Tom Wenzel would be second, Denise Malinowski Maxwell will be third. I will ask you at this time to extend your hand when I mention their name, and that would signify your vote, okay?
Mama.
So, Moby Dean.
Baby. Mama.
Okay, let me continue. Robert Constant. Moby Dean. And Hassan. We have majority. By a vote of 4, which is the majority. At this time, I get to turn the meeting over to you. Thank you. I didn't know who to do.
Friends, family, guys, thank you so much for being here. I know we have our very own former council president, David Hall, with us as well. That's right, in the room. Big shoes to fill. Dave did a phenomenal job, Dave. I look up to you. I respect you. I love you. Thank you for your years of service. I mean that. To my mom, Bob, I love you guys. To my colleagues, my council members, the administration, we're all going to work hand in hand. We're going to work together. I appreciate you guys. Whether you supported me or not, I appreciate every single one of you. And I look forward to moving forward, all of us here together. But with that being said, I get to actually hit the gavel. The next up on the agenda here is going to be, we closed it. We're going to open up nominations for council chair pro tem.
Council Chair?
Councilman Saab.
I would nominate, open it up for,
Okay. So it's open it up by Councilman Saab. And a second? Second by Councilman Ahmad. Next up, we're going to have the motion. If anybody would like to, do we just have to read the motion, or is it just open and make the nomination?
Did you vote on it? I'm sorry. You got a first, you got a second, and you got a vote.
Okay, go ahead. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. For those opposed? The ayes have it.
Siri doesn't want to.
Councilman Saab.
I'd like to nominate Hassan Ahmad for pro tem.
I will second that nomination. Okay, we don't need a second. Raise your hand if you accept.
No, we're not.
You want to accept? Sorry, we do this once every 2 years. And accept.
Exactly.
Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Nancy Breyer.
All right. Nancy Breyer, do you accept that nomination?
Yes.
Awesome. Any other for the third? Councilman?
I'd like to nominate Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Okay. Denise, do you accept that nomination? Okay. All right, and is there a fourth nomination? Okay. So now we have three. We're going to get ahead.
You say 3 times.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, and if you're going to support, we're going to go in order. I'm going to move a motion. We're going to do the motion now.
Motion to close the nomination.
A motion to close the nomination.
Second.
Second, all in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Now, we're going to start off the order, kind of like she did. If you want to support Councilman Ahmad to be in the pro tem, please raise your right hand and keep it up, please. Congratulations, I think that's one of the That being said, let's start our meeting. Okay, now we're gonna set up chairs. And then you're gonna stay here. I believe Are we ready to go? Are we good to go? Madam Clerk? Is everybody good to go? Uncle Bob? While I have Bob getting set up, we are going to start off by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Today I'm going to ask our County Commissioner, our County Director of Homeland Security, and our former Councilman to start us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, we have here 2A residence recognition by Councilman Ahmad.
Council Chair Baidoon, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I stand before you this evening to pay tribute to a distinguished individual who has dedicated a significant portion of his life to the betterment of our beloved city. It is my distinct honor to present a proclamation to a man whose commitment, leadership, and unwavering dedication have left a lasting mark on Dearborn Heights. Our esteemed honoree, a man of remarkable character, and accomplishment is not only a loving husband and a father of 6, but he also holds the church title of grandfather to 4 beautiful souls. His commitment to family values is a testament to the strength of his character, and we are fortunate to celebrate not just a public servant, but a devoted family man. Having called Dearborn Heights home for the past 32 years, our honoree has witnessed the ebb and flow of our community, and through it all, he has remained steadfast in his commitment to its prosperity. Armed with a bachelor's degree in engineering, he brought his skills and expertise to the service of our city. For over 2 decades, our distinguished guest has been a familiar face at both City Council and Board of Education meetings, demonstrating an enduring passion for civic engagement. His invaluable contribution extends beyond the confines of the meeting rooms, as he has served on the Housing Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals, playing a pivotal role in shaping the policies that govern our community. In the challenging year of 2020, when leadership and stability were paramount, our honoree was appointed by the City Council as the interim treasurer, showcasing not only his competence, but also the trust that the council placed in his abilities during a crucial time. As we transition to 2021, our distinguished guest continued to answer the call of duty and was appointed to the City Council, bringing with him a wealth of experience, insight, and genuine passion for the well-being of our community. Furthermore, recognizing his outstanding contribution and leadership, our honoree was once again called upon to serve in September of 2023 when he was appointed to the City Council, a testament to the trust placed in his abilities and the continued confidence of our community in his dedicated service. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present this proclamation to a man whose journey embodies the spirit of service, community, and dedication. Let us express our deepest gratitude to a leader who has not only shaped the past, but continues to inspire a brighter future for Dearborn Heights. Please join me in congratulating and thanking a true pillar of our community, Mr. Zuhair Abdelhaq. I don't know. That's all.
Oh, and then I'll go stand up there after we.
Okay, everyone smile. Come on, Bob.
Come on. My turn.
You think we were gonna let you go without recognizing you as a city?
Somebody asking for a sandwich after that.
Before we go, take a picture together with the new council.
Oh, good idea.
You guys don't get a discount at the store, by the way.
Yeah.
No diamond discount. Final congratulations.
Is Lynn going to join us?
No, there's not a councilman. Ready?
Just go.
7.
She's not like it's like a wedding.
Action 24 events?
I have to say a couple of words.
Thank you. I have a lot to say, but first, congratulations to the newcomers to the City Council, and congratulations to the President of the City Council and the Pro Tem. It is always my pleasure to work with you, always my pleasure to be here, and it is always my pleasure to help you guys. If you need anything, you can ask me. This city is my home and my children and grandchildren's home. And I really appreciate this very, very much, and thank you for it. And I wish you good luck in the next few years. Thank you.
And next up, we have the agenda approval. Council Chair, Councilman Ahmad.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council.
You're on the wrong one.
Approve the amended agenda for the regular meeting of January 9th, 2024 as submitted.
I got a second? Second. Second by Councilman Constant. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next up on the agenda is approval of minutes.
Council Chair,
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes for the regular meeting of December 12th, 2023 as submitted.
I got a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Breyer. All in favor? We'll open up for discussion. Was our last meeting on December 12th? No, we had a special meeting, but our last meeting was September. So I would actually like to amend one of mine if Madam Clerk is here. There was a vote and I would like to change one of mine. I know we have the approval of the minutes. It was for the full account. I received many phone calls. I still want to support it. However, there are certain things on there that I'd like to remove. I know the CDBG account should have been removed and the Act 345 should have been removed. So maybe we can make an amendment on that and then continue on, or we can table it. And you guys can bring it up at the next meeting, or we can walk it on with those two items removed. Maybe. Was it December 19th or December 12th?
It was the 12th.
Oh, yeah, I can rescind my vote. Yeah, but you cannot do it. Okay, I'd like to rescind my vote on that, Madam Clerk. And then ask the administration to bring it back to the next meeting. We're just removing, the pull account from Act 345 and the CDBG account.
You can't change your vote.
I can't change
You
my
have to do
vote.
it at that meeting, before that meeting ends.
Before that meeting ends, we have to do it at the exact same meeting.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking them to bring it to the next meeting, not today's meeting.
It's already been voted on, wasn't it?
I'm sure you can probably propose it again. But this one, it can't be done.
On the minutes, it can't be done?
You can put it on the agenda again.
Again, that's what I said.
Okay, so just
You can
add it to
bring
the
it
next
forward
agenda?
again,
Okay.
but you cannot change.
What if I suspend the rules and add it to the agenda?
The agenda, well, because it's gonna be postponed.
That's up to council.
Yeah, that's up to council.
Well, that's okay. I don't want to cluster the first meeting. Let's just go ahead and add it. Let's just go ahead and add it to, if you don't mind. Yes, put it on to the next agenda. Maybe bring it up with the administration and the mayor and Roger. It's fine. I'm okay with closing some of the accounts, but Act 345 account should stay to itself, because that belongs to, everybody with Act 345. And then the CDBG account, I've also received phone calls stating that it shouldn't have been removed. So we're gonna leave that as well. I would like that separated. And then you can close all the other accounts.
Give people a chance to comment and look at it, other people to see.
Okay.
So we will add that, we will talk before the next agenda, okay?
Next item is 4B, minutes from the special meeting on December 19th. Wait, we gotta make a vote on that, right? All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed?
People that weren't on council at this meeting can't support or vote on this, right? correct?
Correct. Okay.
No, for the 19th, I can't support it.
You're
Okay.
approving the minutes.
Thank you.
You can.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. All right, next up on the item is 4B, minutes from the special meeting of December 19th, 2023.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes for the special meeting of December 19, 2023 as submitted.
Support. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion on that? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next up, we have public hearing and comments on agenda items only. As our very own former councilman would say, this is not public comments, this is anything that is on our agenda items only. It's going to be 2 minutes, and I believe our council pro tem who refuses to do it will do it just this time. Please state your name, not your entire address. It's just your street, your name and your street, please. And the city in which you reside.
That's Tarkowski, Columbia Street, Dearborn Heights.
1 second.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a comment on item 8B. As I stated at the last meeting, that I feel that for these positions, we should look internally before we look outside of the city. I know there are fine candidates in our city. They would love to have these positions. It's just that I feel they need an opportunity to be interviewed and these positions considered for them first. And if these positions do go outside, make sure they go through the civil service. That's all I have to say on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next up, I know Gary, you called me and asked for an extra minute and 20 seconds. I will honor the minute and 20 seconds.
Thank you very much.
You get 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
3 minutes?
Gary Mayaki,
1
Plainfield.
second.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Gary Mayaki, Plainfield Street, Dearborn Heights. Thanks to the council chair for granting me the extra time, and for the others of you who are up who I had also called just in case you won. So thank you. My comments pertain to agenda items 8A, 8B, and 11A. Regarding agenda item 8A, the council should table item 8A unless and until the proposed budget amendment specifically states the maximum amount that is authorized to be paid as a salary to the city engineer, and right now it does not do so. Further, if the council approves item 8A now or in the future, the motion approving this budget amendment should state that 1, the amount to be paid to the city engineer shall not exceed the maximum amount of the salary authorized by the city council. 2, the amount to be paid to the city engineer's salary on a bi-weekly basis shall not exceed the proportional amount of the maximum annual salary amount authorized by the city council. 3, the city engineer shall not be paid directly or indirectly for engineering services performed for the city beyond his salary as authorized by the city council. Please note that these restrictions are necessary to avoid any possible violations of city charter section 4.9A and B. With respect to agenda item 8B, the city council should reject the budget amendments to create the proposed full-time positions of Director of Community Relations, Ombudsman, and Director of Asset Management. The mayor has failed to present compelling reasons to incur between $250,000 and $312,000 in salary and benefits to add 2 new political appointees to the city's payroll, where these positions have not previously existed and have not been necessary for the approximately 60 years that the city has existed. Further, if the mayor wanted or wants to claim that these will add cost savings and other financial reasons to create these positions, then the mayor needs to basically do one of the more fundamental things that has not been done. Per section 18.2 of the city charter, you, as a council body, are supposed to receive the annual audit report. As far as I know, you have not received the annual audit report, even though it has been filed with the state of Michigan on December 28th, 2023. This should be something that you require so that you know whether or not you should actually incur this additional expense. And finally, since I'm low on my time here, but I appreciate the indulgence since potentially a long meeting, on item 11A, Councilman Saab, I believe that you deserve our gratitude as residents for bringing this forward. My personal feeling is that all the premises are correct. However, the matter should be tabled and to work out any sort of potential problems and brought back in the future. Thank you for your time.
Council Chair. Just 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna allow him.
Just a point of clarification, is that legal advice?
Can you turn him on?
It is on, but
Okay,
I
sorry.
apologize for my code. But is that legal advice that Ms. Miyake is giving to the board?
No.
I just want to clarify because
No.
that's what it sounds like.
No.
I will give you 30
I
seconds.
just want to make sure that's what that is.
He's a citizen.
Thank you for going through the chair.
Personal opinion
He's a
as a
citizen. He is a citizen.
No, Mr. Farina, I do not have any sort of legal duty right now to the city. I could sue the city if that was appropriate, if I had a client who was in a position, say, for example, who was improperly denied a FOIA request, I could do so. But, you know, right now I have not done so. I am not offering legal advice. I am merely stating my opinions as a resident. Thank you.
It was a yes or no question.
He answered it.
I answered.
All right, guys, hey, come on. Point of order. Another fiasco here today.
Nice.
Thank you. Please state your name, address, and the city that you reside in.
Thank you. Good evening, Chris McCula.
Real quick. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have you, don't start until he states his name and then we'll go start ahead, so we don't take away from your time.
Thank you. Chris McCula. I am a resident of the city of Birmingham, Michigan.
Are you speaking as the legal counsel for the council, or are you speaking here on behalf of as a resident?
I'm speaking as Assistant Corporation Counsel for Labor and Employment for the
So are
city.
you speaking on, my question is, are you speaking legal advice to this council, or are you giving an opinion?
I am giving my legal opinion on an agenda item 11A pertaining
To the council?
pertaining to whoever wants to entertain
Because you
my
represent the
comments.
council as well, by the way, correct? You work for the city of Dearborn Heights.
I work for the city of Dearborn Heights.
So you represent the council?
I represent the city as a whole.
Okay, so you would be considered representing the council.
Okay.
So my question is, are you giving us advice?
Well, I think the question is confusing. He's commenting on the.
Point of order, please go through the chair.
Council Chair, if I
All right,
may.
that's not used for that, please.
No, I apologize.
Thank
Council
you.
Chair, if I may. I
Go
think
for it, Roger.
the comment is on a section of the agenda, and it's agenda items comments. Its opinion was already given. Legal opinion on the issues was already given to the council in writing, and I read it to the council on December 12th. However, it's up in a different format today.
And Roger, what I'm asking to the gentleman is, he represents the city of Dearborn Heights, not the administration, the city.
It's complicated. When we represent the city of Dearborn Heights, yes.
So what I'm asking is,
In certain matters, labor matters, not the council, as the council may have an issue specifically pertaining to an issue that's not before us. If you want him to speak at the time, when you're doing the agenda item, that's fine, or he can speak here, whichever way you prefer, Council Chair.
Roger, my question is this, are you speaking as a resident of Birmingham? Are you speaking as a paid employee for the city of Dearborn Heights? An opinion in support of this council?
Sure, of course.
So which one is it? That's all I'm asking.
It's not in my role as a resident of Birmingham. It's in my professional capacity
very
as
much for answering
Assistant
that question.
Corporation Counsel.
You can go ahead and start us off. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I believe the agenda item is 11A concerning police directors, and I gave a legal opinion to the administration on December 11th. the agenda item has resurfaced in a different format, and I wanted to address 2 points in the new resolution submitted by Councilman Saab. The first point I'd like to make is that there's a statement, whereas the mayor's inconsistent statements regarding the existence of Act 78, including denial, admission of violation during recall, and attempts to include the illegally hired directors under Act 78 during police contract negotiations, have raised questions about credibility. The negotiations were permissible under Act 78 and under the Public Employment Relations Act of the state of Michigan. I provided a Supreme Court case from the state of Michigan that says that a municipality and a union may negotiate changes to the Act 78 promotional and hiring process through collective bargaining. That's what we did, and through those negotiations, we agreed to two police directors to be included. The second point I wanted to make is the resolution states the mayor's attorney is a direct appointee of the mayor. That assertion is incorrect. I was approved by the city council to represent the city. I have an email from former corporation counsel, Mr. Miyake, that says that he discussed my appointment with the city council, showed the city council my engagement letter, and the city council voted in favor of appointing me assistant corporation counsel, city of Dearborn Heights.
I'll give you 3 more seconds, 30 more seconds if you need it.
Thank you. I have a copy of that email if you guys would like to see it, but that's all that I have to say.
Councilman Saab, are you okay to take some questions?
Mr. McCullough? Yes. I'm happy to take questions. Sure.
Would you answer a few questions if you don't mind?
Sure.
Since you were up the contracts and everything. Did you have a conflict or are there a relationship outside of the city with the mayor?
No.
At all?
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
Do you have any other relationship with the mayor outside of the city work as an attorney representing the city in labor and negotiations?
I do not.
At all?
I answered the question.
Okay, thank you.
Council Chair.
Councilman,
I'd like to hear from Attorney McCullough when we bring up this agenda item.
okay, I will honor that for you, Councilman. Anyone else from the audience? This is on agenda items only, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
My name's Jim Isaac. I reside in Canton right now.
Canton?
Canton. I have a home I still own on Evangeline across from that beautiful car wash on Ford Road. I'm here to talk about Act 78. A lot of people are disingenuous about Act 78, and obviously money can buy opinions. You know what I mean?
Hang on, sir. If you want to speak during public comments?
This is the agenda item, right?
Which one?
This is Act 78, the directors.
Yes, okay. Then he is speaking.
The directors.
Go ahead.
Or lack of that term. I guess they're directors because the charter says that the mayor can have directors on his staff. I guess they circumvented that. This is ridiculous. This Act 78 stuff has dismantled the police department from what it was. It was once the best police department in the state of Michigan at one time. Now it's dismantled because of this mayor. This mayor has put the residents of this city and the police officers of this city in danger by the low numbers on the police force.
I'm going to have to point of order you on there. Pause this time for a second, please. We can't instill the fear that the mayor is putting danger.
It's not fear, it's a fact.
I know, I understand, but I'm just going to ask you to refrain from doing that, please. Go ahead.
I can't speak when I'm talking about these directors.
You can.
The 2 directors and the chief of police have been illegally hired. They're going to cost this city millions of dollars if they haven't already. It's also come to my attention that this one director, Vanderplow, hasn't even been certified by my Coles. My Coles. If he's not certified and he's out there working on the road, which I have seen videos of him doing with a weapon, running around in a police car, he's going to cost the city residents here millions of dollars. And if that's the case, that chief ought to be fired right now. Right now. That's good.
No, he's back.
Well, and then they appoint the other director to take over. That is ludicrous. I don't know what you people are thinking or doing, but it's ludicrous. Putting officers, we're running what, 2 cars now, I believe. One in the north end, one in the south end. When I worked here, we had 3 and 3. If one of those cars makes an arrest and goes into the station, you're putting that other car at risk. At risk. And when that guy gets hurt, or one of the residents get hurt or injured, God help you guys. You're going to lose so much money, it's going to make you cry. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other residents? It wouldn't be a city council meeting if we didn't have our very own.
I've got my binder. I'm ready to go, guys. Happy New Year.
1 second.
Okay. This is good, Steve. It's just
You can hand it over to the clerk if you'd like.
Rachel LaPointe, Merrick Street, Dearborn Heights, all that fun stuff. Regarding 11A, the resolutions, and 11B, I support them partially. My only concern is kind of a empathy concern regarding the 2 gentlemen. I think that honestly you guys should have brought this up a year ago. Residents brought it to your attention right away. You should have addressed it then and removed them from their positions then. At this point, they've been here a year. They do have families. I feel like it's kind of just a jerk move to fire them at this point because you guys dropped the ball. And obviously that doesn't apply to the members that were not on council at that time. Regarding the budget amendments, I posted this on Facebook. I did not email it to you guys. I would refer this back to administration. My notes on here of all the errors are significant. Simple math errors, wrong GL lines, it's a lot. It's a busy time of year. I would probably make the same mistakes. It's not like anything bad, but I would just table it, bring it back, along with a full budget to actual of where we're currently at in the year. I'll give these to you guys after the meeting, but I've been tracking all the claims on my own personal spreadsheet compared to the budget all year, this fiscal year. This is the list of department GL lines that are currently over budget according to my calculations. Significantly more than were asked for in the budget amendments, some very significantly, and that ties into their positions as well. Mr. Deeb's position, I'm really confused about how that's going to work because the city engineer, because you guys just approved the AMD contract. So I guess my question on that one is Mr. Deeb as the city engineer going to be receiving the salary as the full-time employee and then also billing for contract work with his company? And if so, is that going to him or to employees?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other residents? I know, Madam. We have our very own Dana Parrish with us. And I believe he asked for an extra minute, correct?
Yeah, 3 minutes altogether.
Oh, 3 minutes altogether, yep. And this is for agenda item.
That's correct.
All right, Dana, if you can hear us, unmute yourself, please, if you are.
She should be good.
Council Chair.
Hold on 1 second.
He's speaking as a resident or a mayoral appointed employee.
Who's that?
Dana.
Dana, are you going to be speaking as an employee of the city, or will you be speaking as a resident?
Council Chair, speaking through you, this is not using my time. Would you direct that councilman to keep his remarks about me to himself? I don't like his disrespectful comments to me, and perhaps if he prepared himself for meetings, instead of coming in council meetings unprepared, he'd know what he's doing.
Then a point of order on that, please. Let's just go ahead and move forward. Just state your name and your address and city you reside.
I don't expect him to make comments about me when I've said nothing to him.
I know, you can talk about that during public comments. Right now, we're talking about agenda items only. Let's just do agenda items right now, please.
No, you asked everyone that same question.
Are you speaking as a resident, or are you speaking? And I did ask that question to the corporation council.
I'm just a resident, excuse me, sir.
He's not on any commissions, Councilman. I don't.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not on any commission.
He's not. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Thank you. So just state your address, your name and your address, and the city you reside in, please.
Sure, no problem. Dana Parrish, Friendly Park Street, Dearborn Heights. Yes, sir. Congratulations to everyone on the council. Denise Malinowski Maxwell, congratulations, ma'am. Good to see you back on the council. 11A, I just want to say that I agree with Mr. Miyake on that one, to table it. I also agree with the comments about the financial strain. Sit down and take a look at that. Talk with the chief, see how that's going to impact him as well, his workload and how he's distributed things, because I'm sure he's distributed his workload and some of the things that he does among those people. So that's all I want to say on that. So 11B, I know a little bit about that. I was handler and Taylor. Some of the things that were mentioned in there. As a canine handler, when you evaluate people for canine handler, isn't just how long a person's been in the department, for instance. It's things like personality, lifestyle evaluation. Does the person have a good, stable living condition? Are there other animals in the home that cause conflicts? Are there small children in the home to be concerned about? Is the property fence with gates, things like that to prevent accidental bites, and escape or theft of the animal. Those are some things to think about. As far as residency, there's a Michigan Public Act 212 of 1999, which prohibits a city from any kind of residency requirement for public employees. You might want to look that one up. You can't do that now. When I was in the city of Taylor, they ran into that problem. Now, when I worked in Taylor, we ranged from 1 to 3 canine handlers, depending upon the time. One thing to think about is one canine can do the job of 20 to 30 officers, believe it or not, in a crowd situation. When you have a dog that's barking and you have an unruly crowd, believe it or not, that dog can disperse a very large crowd in a very short period of time. That's one thing to think about. The other thing is, if, for instance, someone drops something in a commission of a crime, let's say they drop a weapon or a knife, they can locate that thing within minutes, where officers may never find it. If it's in tall weeds, dropped in water, things like that. Now think if your child picked that up. Your child picked that up and hurt themselves with that. How much is the life of a child worth to you? It's priceless. The other thing is, we're talking about costs. Yes, of course, it's going to cost money, but the overtime associated with calling a dog handler in, you have to pay a minimum of 4 hours overtime to bring a canine handler in. That's mandated by federal law. So yes, it can cost a little bit of money. You're getting this money as part of grants. So think about the costs that are associated with human life and in terms of having to call in an additional handler, and you're going to have 3 to overlap. So thank you very much. Everybody have a good night.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you.
All right, do we have anyone else from the audience or anyone else on Zoom? All right, that's that. Next up, we have fund transfers and current claims.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve current claims and ACH wire transfers 6-1 through 6-62 as submitted.
Supported. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Hudson. Any discussion? Councilman Saab.
Got a few items here I'd like to get more info. I requested number 34, the ODA group. I asked for their contract. I got an email back from the police department saying that it was in the city hall. I came to
Speak up a little bit, Councilman.
I came to the clerk's office. There's no record of anything on it. So I'd like to pull that one if I can get support.
Is that 34?
Number 34, yes.
Okay.
No,
We can get to it before. I know which one to talk about.
Okay.
Go to group.
And then one is for number 44 that we have on the item for our Director Swope College. I'd like to pull that one too. And then number 33 also for Director Swope is current college. My question was, and I don't believe any of the directors are here, or the chief, or anybody who can answer this.
Council Chair, I think just the numbers are different now. If you want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up actually as well. Give me a second, I'm sorry.
Well, you can answer that. Councilman, can you pull them up? Cadora Group, okay, Inc. And what-
Yeah, 34 on the computer, it's still.
Yeah, it's 34. Good, okay, so that's one. What's the other one?
Hold on a second, yeah, so 34, 33 and 44. My question is to the director, for number 30, number 33 is, we're paying for college, I just wanna know, when are these college classes is he attending them? Is it during city hours, is the city paying them while he's attending them? What days, what hours, driving city vehicle for this college? Are these online classes he's taking during his working hours?
I'm gonna object to
Roger.
any
Go to
discussion
the chair,
about.
please, point of order.
Is this the
Mr. Chair,
discussion?
may I just?
Are you done, Councilman?
Yes.
Okay.
I think these are private, these are contractual issues that I would not discuss in this meeting here. But if you would like to meet with Mr., I think we did address some of these issues all previously, December.
Council
So
Chair, with
I
all
would ask-
respect.
I'm not interrupting
Let him
you,
finish,
Mr.
let him
Saab.
finish, we're gonna keep it fair.
I think what we need to do is to have a meeting, a study session if you want, but I would review the contract in a different setting than here. And I don't think we can negotiate as private contract.
And I will just add on real quick before Councilman, I let you speak. I don't think we were negotiating here. I think it was a question asking, when does he go to the school? He's not saying if we should or should not approve his, schooling. I don't think that was the discussion. I think the discussion, Roger, was, is he go to school during hour, while he's at work? Does he go to school when he's at work, in his office? I think that was the question that he was asking. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't even know where the questions are coming from.
I think we follow all employees that use the ability to go to school and pursuant to the contracts that they've negotiated with the city. I can't answer that. I don't think the mayor can answer that. And if Mr. Swope is not here, so I don't think it can be answered.
Is he on
Table his questions and send it to me, and I will try to get the answers as I can to him. I
Okay.
respond to every council member
You do.
that contacts me.
You do.
So.
All right, thank you. Councilman Saab.
So, him going to school is not under it's not a contractual agreement. He's taking a class, I'm merely asking.
You don't know,
But
I disagree with that.
Time out, every time, Roger, through the chair, please, every time I'm asking you something, emailing you something, you're telling me you're looking back at the old council, old resolutions and old study sessions. I'm not involved with that. My resolutions that I quote and the questions I'm asking reflect me, not anybody else or the past.
No, Council Chair, if I.
Councilman, are you done here?
No.
Okay, then let him finish out his questions and then you can answer them, please.
If I can remember.
Thank you. Or you can write them down.
Number 34, the Coda Group, it's a process serving contract. The email that Director Vanderpal said this morning said that there was 3 bids, it was posted, and they picked out a bidder. I reached out to the clerk's office, actually walked in there, George researched it, there's no information on it. So until we get that, I asked council to not pay this and put this on the side until we get that information and see who approved this contract and how it was bidded out and where it was posted.
Okay, what's your last one, 44?
44 about the college in July. I'd like to also pull that off until we see what happens with the resolutions.
So I will tell you, Councilman, if you don't mind, can I have the paper back? As far as 44, if he went to school and he's under contract with that, and the school has already been done.
No, this is for June.
May I respond
Okay,
to the
okay.
councilman? With your
Yes,
permission.
please, go ahead, Roger.
I'm seeing a very, and I don't mean any disrespect to councilman.
Just speak into the mic, eat the mic, please.
Yeah, I apologize for this cold and this mask. I saw really worrisome emails and Facebook comments about the chief's medical places where he's gone on Saturday. By the councilman, and I'm thinking that for his medical treatment, I'm hearing issues about officers going to college or using college classes which they are permitted to do. I'm concerned about a malice coming into this conversation and the inquiry by the councilman. I think when we look at malice, what I'm saying is It's not for the benefit of the citizens. There's no evidence, it's lack of evidence of any wrongdoing. And if there is a wrongdoing, then the councilman has tools to raise it as a wrongdoing. Not to sit here and poke holes and attack, even on Facebook. He just said that he's doing it in his own right. I raised an issue to him. I said, you're carrying on this motion. This is a carry on from previous Councilman Abdelhak, from the previous administration. There's a case pending in the appeals court now about coming into an agenda, coming in as a councilman, and following an agenda where you violated the Open Meetings Act by meeting on the same issues before you were a councilman, and now carrying it over. So I'm saying this triggers a number of issues that we will have to look into and investigate. And I'm concerned about the attacks and defunding the police is what I'm seeing in the whole scheme of what he's bringing forward. I'm just saying, I said it to him. I didn't hide it from him. I sent him an email. I had to respond to his email today. But it's very malicious in what's going on.
Roger, thank you. And before, Councilman, I want you to know the defunding the police thing, I can tell you for myself, and I don't think anybody on here wants to defund the police. So let's not raise those extreme words, because I don't think anybody here that ran or was elected wants to defund our police or fire. Councilman Saab.
Sure. So you said, I stated, you saw.
Are you going through the council?
I'm through the chair, yes. So, Mr. Freeman, you claimed you saw on Facebook where the chief, I said, went to his medical treatment?
Yeah,
that's a completely false statement. I've never posted it. And if you have proof of it, bring it.
He never stated you.
No, he said he saw and he was referring to me.
But he didn't, Councilman.
Second thing is, anything that you always say you're investigating and council asks you to bring forward, you never come with it. I have, and they request it. Has he ever bought anything from any of these motions in the past 2 months that council has requested?
Yes,
I have. You have not.
Council Chair, I have.
Yeah, he's not done yet. Please.
Secondly, Roger, again, Zohair Abdelhak's motion, you guys put this a month ago on. I'm not Zohair Abdelhak. I'm not carrying over Zohair's weight or docket or anything. This is my motion, my resolution. I'm going to put it, and I have every right to put it. If you think we're violating the Open Meetings Act, go ahead. Let the courts decide.
I will explain how.
I don't want to hear it. To be honest with you, I really don't.
I know you don't want to hear it, but you will hear it.
Hang out 1 second. Are you done, Councilman? Because we got to wrap this up. Do I have any other council members regarding anything on this agenda?
Because believe me, I know everything from the past.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilman Constant.
Just as a procedural point, I think the issue is, so the councilman has some issues regarding a certain bill. I know we were having a study session regarding the police department with the Chief Hart, and the meeting was never completed. So I think the issue is it right not to pay an invoice? I understand the councilman's concerns about, I also understand the city attorney's concern that that's a benefit of his employment, and absent violation of his of the agreement with the city, he's entitled to take the classes. So same thing with the process serving. I don't know if we have a contract or not. It's a bill, so whether or not this is and I really think it's not the proper venue to raise these issues. Say, well, we should pay this bill, A, B, and C, and da-da-da.
Okay.
Council Chair, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, I'm going to do a quick 20 seconds.
With respect to that, we can't be paying bills that are due for contract come in front of council for approval. Again, this is what the process is in the city. Nothing comes in front of council, everything's behind doors. You gotta hold them accountable. You were paying out for a service that's never existed in the city. I've never seen this on any agenda items. And I asked, I bluntly asked them to the email. You were attached to that email. I asked them for the contracts, the bids, and where it was posted. There's no record of it.
All right, any other discussions? Councilman, would you like to amend your motion?
I would like to amend the motion for the claims by taking off number 33, 34, and 44.
Just real quick, claim for 33, was that for the college?
Yes.
Yes, and it was already done.
Yes.
Okay, I would if the councilman's okay, I would like to keep 33 on there. This is under his contract, it was already done.
I'm fine with 33,
That's
or
it.
any further, I want answers on when he's taking these classes.
Yes, and that is fine, but
It's on city
33 has
time.
been already done, and I don't feel like it's, it's necessary to remove 33, so if that's okay and you'd like to amend your
That's fine.
motion.
I mean, basically, Council Chair, I think he's just tabling them, he's not saying I'm not paying them.
We'll remove them, and then they can come back with discussion.
Correct.
Correct. Mayor, anything?
No, I wanna make sure, okay, so you guys gotta be specific, and what are you removing from the agenda?
Well, it's from the claims, 33 is just being, put back, and then I believe you said.
34, 44, and 44.
34, 44.
Well, for his education, like I said, that's.
Yeah, we approved his education, we left 33 on the.
Okay, what are we removing though?
We're only removing the one that's for the future for $10,600. I believe I read that he's going.
In July. And,
Yeah, in July.
And the
you can bring
contract
it back.
with Dakota Group.
Yeah.
That's number 34.
And then 34 is Dakota Group. That was never brought up forward to the council.
Council Chair?
Yes, Councilman.
I don't know what our practice has been in the past regarding the process serving or who's done it. I don't know if the chief is on or either the directors. I don't know if that's something that's put off the table, what the practice is.
I'm not sure, guys, but, okay, would you like to amend your motion, because we're spending way too much time on this, please?
Council Chair, I'd like to amend my motion by taking off 34 and 44 of the claims.
Would you like to second that, Councilman Constant?
I don't think I was the second.
You were.
Yes.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any further discussion? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Next up, we have reports from Mayor. 8A, a new full-time position, city engineer.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize the following budget amendment to create a full-time city engineer position as outlined in 8-8.
Any support? Support. Support by Councilman Constant. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilman Saab.
This is a pretty big budget, to be honest, for an engineer. So my question is our engineer, is he gonna be our engineer and, can have contract services with the city? You will not make money off of any contract services or any contractors you bring in or anything?
Okay, he doesn't need to. Mr. D, if you wanna answer anything. Yep, just please go up to the podium.
So, Council Chair, I understand the question is either an employee or a contract employee. Right, it's either or.
Either or. So you'll never have any companies.
Never had before and never will, no. It was
Okay.
either an employee or contract.
Now, my next question to you is, Mr. D, is, why do you wanna be a full director now, not a 1099 employee like you were in the previous?
Because you guys had trouble with it, and I was having a hell of a time. We had a lot of problems with it. We don't like it as an employee, and now we don't like it as a 1099.
Well, no, you were approved as the 1099.
Until December 31st.
Correct.
So,
Council
that's the
Chair.
replacement.
1 second. Councilman, are you done?
And what was the salary as the 1099, if you don't mind me asking?
Exactly the same as it is today.
But you didn't have a pension, right?
Any other questions, Councilman?
No.
Mayor?
So he was never full-time, so he was hourly, in the past, before we went to 1099, so.
Any other questions?
Council Chair?
Councilman?
The budget amendment for this position is $65,000 more. Can you explain, can you give an explanation of what the $65,000 is for?
And is HR Director here with us today?
Council Chair, that's, okay, can I?
Yep, go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, that's for the rest of the year, so, because it's budgeted through, the end of April, so that's the budgeted amount. And if you look at the bottom, or actually job description, you'll see actually the salary and the job description on page
Yep, I saw it.
158.
Chair, so,
So you're saying that's gonna go to April?
so this was not in the budget. His position was not in the
No,
budget.
it is a budget amendment though.
I mean, this is $65,000 for 3 months.
Council Chair?
So it wasn't in the budget?
Well,
You want to answer, you done with your question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, was this not in the budget because we're adding it now, or?
Mayor?
so before, again, it was contracted services, now it's going to a full-time position.
What are we doing with contractual services? Cause I'm sure we budgeted for the year.
Yeah, but again, you can't use the contract services for a position.
Will we be amending and bringing back to the general, okay. General fund?
That's the understanding. If we budgeted for it, I imagine there's a raise involved with this?
It's actually a pay cut.
It's actually a pay cut. It's a pay cut.
But it also comes with a pension.
No, I'm not taking the pension or the employee benefits because I don't need them.
You are getting a pension with this.
But it's actually a pay cut from my previous salary.
Correct.
So,
Do we have a comptroller explain this?
Here she is, Mrs. King. You've been summoned. Cousin Allergy for here.
Hello, Comptroller King, Dearborn Heights. Your question is, I'm not sure I'm following you. So first, the city engineer was a part-time employee, and he was paid hourly. And then we moved him over to a contracted employee, and now he's going to become a full-time employee. He will not get a pension. You have to be vested in order to get a pension. I believe it's 10 years, could be 5 years before you're vested. And
Does he have benefits? That's what he meant.
medical benefits he could opt out on because as he had stated, he doesn't need them because he has them from his previous position.
I didn't say anything about benefits. The question I have is, he was a contracted employee under our current budget.
Correct.
The whole budget, the entire budget.
Well, no. Last year we had him budgeted under part-time salaries, and we had to move it to contracted services, and that's one of the things that's being done in the budget amendments, because I didn't know at the time when we did the budget last year that he was going to move over from part-time to contractor.
Do you recall what we budgeted for his position?
It's the same as what he's getting as contractor. I'd have to look at the budget, but
Why are we adding 65,000?
I don't know where the 65,000 came from, so I don't know what you're looking at. The budget amendment.
Yeah, it says a budget amendment increase.
Oh, that's something different. That's something different.
Bonus?
Oh. Okay, so this salary of $476,880 is probably a couple different positions in this department. I would have to look at this. Is this for all three of the positions? It can't be.
Council Chair. Yes, again, this was a part-time position, so if he worked, 100 hours a week or 30 hours a week, it was a part-time position because the amount of work we have right now, as we mentioned at the last few meetings, it's going from part-time to a full-time position, so that's why the budget amendment that we have up there, just to cover for the rest of the year because of the part-time.
Okay, I do apologize. That is what it is. He was part-time, so he would be moving over to full-time, and that would be where the 65,000 increase would come from.
For 4 months, it's not only 65,000, it's 65,000 plus what was budgeted for those 3 months.
No, he's not, he won't receive the contractual services anymore.
We already have money budgeted. He's already money budgeted.
Hang on 1 second, we're gonna go with Councilwoman,
I just want to make one statement. I'm a big fan of Director Ali Deeb. you know, so everybody knows it. And I just wanted to get, you know, understand what we're voting on here, you know.
Identify your questions here, Councilman.
Yes, thank you.
Councilwoman Maxwell making her debut back here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think what Councilman Wenzel's question is we're budgeting for the rest of this year, the 65,000, but as a contract employee, it's also in the budget for him to be paid out of a different section of the budget. We want to see that returned back to the budget. We want it returned back to the budget or moved over to here, whatever line item. I'm not sure what line item this is coming out of.
And it would be moved over from contractual services over to the salaries.
Is that the line item, this
Yes.
65,000? Do you have that number?
I would have to pull the budget and actually see what we have under contracted services for his
Because I think it'd be a lot cleaner if we knew exactly what line item it's coming
Why
from.
don't we do this? Why don't we hold off, we don't table this or we don't deny it? Why don't you give us that number and we'll just move on to 8B and we'll hold off on 8A and come back to it.
I can do that.
Let's do that. Thank you.
And also, Council Chair,
Mayor, I'm so sorry. Council, you had. Okay.
So, Mr. D was actually, so as a contracted services for, he was getting part-time, he wasn't just working for the engineering, he was working for different departments. So that's the thing we have to take note, that as a contractor.
But we had contractual services on our amendment budget.
But he was also, I just want to make sure clear that he was getting from different departments.
Go ahead and get us that number. I think everybody here is in favor. I think they just want to ensure that the amendment from the other budget is going to come back into the general fund, or it's going to be moved over. So contractual services, say there was 80,000, we'll take 65 out of that and put it in this new line item, and then you'll tell us how much is left in the other one. Thank you. So we're going to hold off on that one, Madam Clerk. Is that okay? On 8A, and so I'm going to hold off. And we're gonna go ahead to 8B, new full-time positions, Director of Asset Management and Director of Communication Relations.
Council Chair,
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize the following budget amendment to create a full-time Director of Asset Management position and a new Director of Community Relations Ombudsman position is outlined in 8B.
You got a second on that?
I'll second it.
Second that by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion?
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
Thank you, Council Chair. I mean, we had this last month, and to go first with the asset manager position, I did ask what the city owned, loud and clear, and still till now I didn't have a list of whatever the city owned to see exactly if we need an asset manager or not. And if we need an asset manager, I truly believe that this needs to be with the DPW. For the other position, basically the liaison, the community relation, I mean, I like that position, but you know what, I want to see more reorganization in the city. I mean, I think we have a emergency director, so why don't we combine those in one, where they can do this job, and we can maybe save some money too. But just to add positions without a real reorganization of the city department, which has been the same since 1963, it just doesn't make sense. I hope we can actually see some changes in the near future, so we can be able to, or I can be able to go ahead and agree on stuff like this. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilman. Next up, we have Councilwoman Breyer.
Thank you. I'd like to ask a question as to asset manager. Is that comparable to a facilities manager?
That would be a question to the mayor. Mayor, can you answer that?
Okay, well, I'd like to answer first Councilman Ahmad's question. When he mentioned, okay, so when you guys approve the MMRA, all the assets are listed under the MMRA. We sent that a few months ago. But if you haven't received it, when you guys approve the MMRA stuff, for all the assets, the city assets was listed on that document. But I'll make sure that if you have not received it, I'll resend it anyway. But the other question,
please do, Mayor.
Okay, so, somebody made a statement earlier that since 1963, well, you know what, we never received the amount of money since 1963 that we have received in the last 2.5 years. Since when we received, for example, give an example, $10 million for a fire station. Okay, I know we paid for the fire station, the one on Beach Daily, and it was built wrong because we didn't have anybody overlooking at the project.
Even the Richard A. Young was built, and it was built wrong. There was something wrong with it. So there's a lot of things that there was nobody overlooking at projects. So, yeah, we never had these positions, but yeah, we never received the amount of money that we have right now, close to $35 to $40 million we're anticipating to have within the next few months. And again, this is grant money. It's not like money that we have in our account, but this is grants that we already got approved that we have to, Mr. Dean has to work on trying to get these, and we have a lot of bids out, for these projects. Again, yeah, the city's never had that much money. The last 2 years, 2.5 years, we've gotten more grants.
Can we recognize our very own state rep, Aaron Burns, for bringing in that $10 million? No, I just wanted to recognize him.
But again, in the last few years that we had here, 2.5, 3 years, we have more grants than probably 57 years history of the city of Dearborn Heights. So yeah, a lot of stuff didn't happen in '63, but now we have a lot of grants coming in that we never had.
Can we answer then? I believe there's to the councilwoman's question.
I think I'm getting an answer.
Is he gonna be a facility employee?
No, Councilman, I just wanted to answer, Councilman, how about this? We talk about reorganizing the city. This is part of the effort, so we can't go overnight and add 100 employees. We're trying to address the things that are clearly looking at us. Facility management or asset management has been a nightmare. We have. I think I constantly get requests for asset management from agencies that are paying our grants, and they're looking for give me an assessment. We had one today, I believe, on all the roads and bridges. When was the last time we budgeted $1 for any of our 14 bridges? Never. We have never done anything with them. We don't manage them. We don't look at them. We own them. Same goes for buildings. So when we're talking about an asset manager or facility manager, we're looking at a professional that is going to put these things under preventative maintenance schedule, and they're going to assist us with budget so we can address these things. I've looked at reports from our assets that go back to 2014, and in every one of these reports, they listed critical items that needed to be addressed. Not only that we didn't do them, we couldn't even find the reports in the city. So it is that bad. They are needed. You need a professional to do it. It's totally different than building maintenance. I'm not asking someone to maintain something. We're looking at a preventative maintenance or preventative maintenance schedule. Put these things on the schedule. The stuff that Mayor mentioned, we have a lot of things that we are going to build, and I need to turn them over to someone that I know can manage them. And I don't know who that someone is. We simply don't have that.
Council Chair, also
hang on one second. Just give me 1 second. If the mayor wants to respond to Nancy's, please go ahead and respond to Nancy's.
Also, when you mentioned Councilwoman, we obviously it's a position as Director Divas mentioned, but also just to give you an example, we just had a few months we had the blackout in Dearborn Heights. Okay, we had a generator that was a backup generator at the police station. So that generator went down because nobody was maintaining it, right? So our 911 service went down. So there was nothing. Dearborn Heights was in a black. It was like we were like black, and there's nothing. There was no services at all. We had to rely on Dearborn to borrow their dispatch, and they were kind enough to let us borrow their dispatch for a few days. So we were up and running again. If you would have had somebody, this is something that it's critical. Nobody's maintaining the preventive maintenance in any entity. You're talking about, government, military, corporations. They have somebody in charge of preventive maintenance programs for every equipment the entity has. We don't have any of that right now. We asked for it for the last 2 years. We've been asking for it. We need a preventive maintenance program. Even the units up on the roof, there's nothing.
Thank you. All right, guys. I know Councilman Sabo's next, and then we had Councilman Amata, then we had Councilwoman Maxwell.
I have a Councilman You should have never moved. I have a few questions.
Yes.
Number one is we keep talking about this grant money, and we're hiring all these positions. This grant money, is it in the city's bank accounts? It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
There is no way that you're going to get a grant and a check. Nobody does that. The grant is simply an approval to finance a project. That's what a grant is. In any government agency, no one writes a check and sends you this. It's not a collection agency. We don't put a grant is an approval to do a project. That's what it is.
Second question I have is, the people that we know are getting, clearly getting these jobs, what are their qualifications that you guys know, and was this bidded out? Was this process put out?
What people?
But was it put out for how, because I know there's candidates already to fill in these jobs.
Council Chair. All right, any other questions?
I wanted to answer what.
Let's finish the questions first, please.
My third question is why the interest of these two individuals that were getting into the city, and why? And again, I'm gonna ask this, the mayor, I'm gonna ask you this question on the record. Did any individual ask you to bring these positions to the city and hire these individuals that are from Wayne County? Yes or no?
All right, Mayor, would you like to answer those?
Okay, when you ask the first question, the qualifications is whatever we have, the job descriptions, and I mentioned in the email, and I don't know if you read this email, I said, everything that we have in here is gonna be posted, whatever qualifications, job duties and responsibilities, they will be listed under whatever is listed here in front of you. For the Director of Community Relation, it's on page 180, and the Director of Asset Management, it's on 181, and those are the positions that will be listed, and that's how they will be listed.
All right, your second question, do you want to respond or you want to?
That's what I just said.
No, I asked you a specific question about these individuals.
There's no individuals.
I'm sorry?
Okay, like I said,
it's a yes or no
is this a
question.
court of law? I'm telling you.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
No, I'm just saying, these positions will be posted as I just mentioned, period.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Ahmad, do you want to let me go first?
Yeah, sure. Please.
I never asked.
Okay, Councilman Ahmad.
Thank you, Councilor Chair. Mr. Deep, when you said the asset manager, part of the job is for the preventative maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna have any communication with the DPW? Is he gonna use the services of DPW? Not necessarily, but the entire city. So he oversees, actually,
No, I understand, but
if he needs to take care of preventative maintenance, is he gonna call the DPW for maintenance?
He's going to come up with a program, schedule maintenance, not just for DPW, for the entire
I
city.
understand, but if, for example, he wants to do a preventative maintenance for this building, is he gonna request services from the DPW to take care of it?
He might request, probably,
Probably. So don't you think this job needs to be part of the DPW?
No.
Council Chair.
Yes. Yep. Come on, hey, no more.
And my second question is, who came up with those salaries?
Council Chair.
Hang on one second, Mayor, you're still talking.
No, I'm gonna answer this
I know,
question.
let him finish his questions, then I'll let you, I got you.
I guess just because, looking at it, this salary is more than any director, most of the directors of the department in the city.
I didn't come up with the salary.
Just one question.
Okay, go ahead, Mayor.
So we looked at DCC, the Downriver Community, and also the CWW, which is, we fall under both communities for mayors and supervisors. We looked at the positions in both communities, and that's the average that we got from both of them.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
all right, and then,
Council Chair, I got a question.
yes, ma'am, Councilwoman.
I have a question. Could this wait till the budget hearing so we can see the budget as a whole, where it falls and how it affects it? I mean, is there any reason we need to rush this and not just wait a couple more months?
It isn't, Mayor.
Council Chair, can I answer that?
Yes.
Again, the process is not gonna be overnight, we have to post, and it's gonna take months before we hire somebody.
Come on, let's do better. Any other questions here? Our very own Uncle Councilman Bob.
Thank you, Council Chair. Again, we discussed this before. I look back to, for example, the ice arena, where the mayor mentioned the building of the fire station. Well, hindsight's always 20/20. I think I like Councilman Ahmad's idea that it be part of either the city engineer's office or the emergency manager's office or possibly the mayor's office. But I think, as Director Deeb talked about, the large amount of grant money and so forth, I think we're getting like $10 million for the rebuilding of the fire station.
Possibly more.
I think we need somebody with some real expertise to oversee all that.
Thank you so much. Any other council members? I will say just a few things to the mayor. I know you stated that, we voted on MMRMA and it listed all the information, but there's so much information that when we voted on that, you didn't memorize or remember every single one of those. So what could have easily happened was you could have taken it out and sent it to the entire council. And that way, because I know the council, this is his third time voting on this and third time asking for that. For the third time, he's received nothing. I also want to reiterate that our state representative, Aaron Burns, and I believe others played a crucial role in bringing that $10 million. My question is, when are we going to start on this fire department? Is there a deadline? And if we don't use it by this deadline, like different things in Wayne County, and you don't have to answer today, but get back with us. Maybe send us an email tomorrow. But will we lose that money if we don't move forward? Because I find it very hard that the state of Michigan is going to give us $10 million and they're going to say, well, hold off for about 3-4 years before you do anything. I wish we could break ground, and if you have an answer for that effective immediately, that'd be great.
Well, the first one, like I said earlier, I will send you what we sent the MMRA. I'll send all of that for you, to all the council
Or
members
just give us the list.
I'll send you the list tomorrow.
Thank you.
And also we're actually looking at the location. The location is not going to be, more than likely, it won't be in the same location where it's at right now.
Okay.
So Chief Brogan and I, we're looking at two other possible locations. So we're trying to narrow it down. So we are working with Wayne County.
You think we can start building maybe the spring?
Well, we also have another grant possibly coming from our congressional, maybe Senate, for the fire station. So
a congressional Senate as in?
Well, either we asked for from 2 congressional delegates for more money for the fire station, and also from 2 U.S. senators. So that budget hasn't been approved yet, so we might be able to get more money for the fire station.
Awesome.
So the first step is to identify a location. Once we identify a location, then we can start working on a design and also bidding.
Maybe we can get some rendering going, and I think we need to get the ball rolling on this fire station. Because look, at the end of the day, and I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but we need to keep in mind that it's a hazard to the firemen and women at that station, and we don't know, at any second this thing can collapse. So
Chair?
we need to make sure that we're being adequate. Yes.
And that's why we're asking for these positions, so we can get the help for people to come and help us, sometime in the next few months.
Well, I mean, it needs a couple of months, you said, for us to get in this position.
Exactly, but I mean, we are working with the county to see if we can get one of the properties, it's on county property.
All right, any other discussion on this?
Council Chair?
Yes, Councilman.
I really would like the suggestion of Councilwoman Maxwell, if maybe we can table this until the first hearing of the budget.
Well, we can vote on this, and it can either pass or be denied, and depending on what happens here, if it does, we can follow the motion of our very own councilman.
Thank you, Council
Yeah,
Chair.
it could be included in the budget or amended or.
So the vote stands today, though, is for item 8B is to approve it. We're not amending anything here, because I know this was made the motion was made by Councilman Constant and seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. And we're just making a regular vote on this. Nobody's amending the motion at all, correct?
Right, Council Chair, because otherwise, how are we gonna budget for a position we don't have?
Correct. So let's go ahead and just make a vote on this.
They can.
Yeah, you can do that, we all can do that.
For the future.
For the future,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Correct. Okay,
Council Chair,
just to be clear, we're voting on both of the positions on this one motion.
correct. We're voting on both the positions. Councilwoman Ryder?
I have a concern with the fact that we do need a director of asset management facilities sooner rather than in July.
Okay, well, let's put this up to a vote and we'll see what happens. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Ready?
Yep, Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Okay, Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
No.
Hassan Ahmad,
No.
Hassan Saab,
No.
Moby Dun,
No.
Tom Wenzel,
No.
Nancy Greiner. Yes. And Robert Constant.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Motion what?
Motion failed.
Thank you. All right, are we gonna go back to 8A?
It's just right.
Okay.
Okay, Cindy King, Comptroller, City of Dearborn Heights. I believe you are asking me where the money is coming from for the salaries, correct? So right now, we are paying Mr. Dibb as a contractor. We are paying him out of part-time services, which is actually the 101-371-707.
Hang on 1 second. That's 101.
371, 707, 100. Okay, so it's in part-time services right now. We move it out of there and pay him for contracted services. If we're going to make him a full-time employee, then we would be taking it out of the part-time general ledger.
How much do we budget for on that?
240,000.
Okay, so how much do we still have in there?
That's a good question.
I want to make sure that we have $65,000 to give to me.
We do have $65,000 in there.
Can you give me that?
I can give you an actual, just let me go right back to the there and I'll get it for you.
This is what they need to look at, because we've already spent
Council Chair. Yes, sir, Councilman.
This is to amend the budget to pay the salary and benefits or whatever for 4 months, right? Take everything we have left, which is, I think we're gonna find how much we have left in the budget for the next 4 months, and put that back or use that.
We're gonna use the same money that we've already budgeted, and if there's anything left over, that'll go back to the regular budget. So I think we're gonna have to amend this. I know it was made by
We're
Councilman
gonna add
Ahmad.
another 65,000 to it for the next 4 months.
Basically moving it from one account.
Yeah. But
We're gonna remove,
plus 65,000. So it's gonna take $65,000 to pay this position for the next 4 months.
okay, we're gonna move on to 8C.
Council Chair,
Uh,
we can go back to it.
We'll get back to it, and we're gonna move on to 8C, Community and Cultural Relations, Martin Luther King Jr. Day March.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council grant permission to the Community and Cultural Relations Commission to hold their annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day March on Saturday, January 13th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. as outlined in 8-C.
We're gonna go second with Councilwoman Maxwell. Any discussion on this?
This Saturday.
January 13th at 1:30.
I want to also thank the Community Cultural Relations for putting this forward. Mrs. Our very own Windless, who goes above and beyond. She's also the trustee at D7. She's here with us. Let's recognize her for this. We also have our very own Najat Janoun, who's on the Community Cultural Relations Commission.
Council Chair, since we're on it and we're waiting for Controller Bibi, Ms. Windless can go over what exactly is gonna go out on Saturday.
With the route.
Thank you guys for approving the march. I think you just did it. If you didn't, you're about to, or else. I'm just playing. My name is Leslie Lunas. I'm on the Community and Cultural Relations Commission. On Saturday, we'll be having a march from the library to Blue Moon and back. And then we're going to have a documentary displayed and then a discussion at the end, the diversity, equity, and inclusion discussion at the end of it. We're hoping to see everybody Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at the Carolyn Kennedy Library.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything you do.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Council Chair, may we go back to 8?
We sure can. We're gonna go back to this for the third time.
Third time, sorry. Okay, right now I am showing we've got about $119,000 in that account. So if we take out 65, we would still be at.
So we're gonna have to do a budget amendment to return back, do the math, engineer.
If we take 65 out of 119, that leaves you with about 60 left.
That stays there. We're gonna keep there, or are we moving it back?
Is that enough for the employees that still get paid?
I would be moving it out of part-time and putting it into salaries.
The 65,000, right?
Correct.
And the remaining is gonna stay in there?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
because we still have part-timers that we have to pay.
Okay. All right, now I
Can I answer your
know,
question?
Does that money cover all part-timers that we have that's gonna be remaining in that account?
Yes. Is that it?
any other questions on 8A? I know, any other here? All right, take this to a vote. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passed. 8A. All right. Next up, we have reports from city officials. First up on the agenda is 9A.
Council Chair,
Clerk stands, go ahead, Councilman.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following budget amendment. General ledger account previously used by City Council for special legal counsel and for the administration to determine the appropriate account. This request will be funded from as outlined in 9-8.
We have a second. We got a second by Councilwoman Breyer. Motion made by Councilman Bond. Any discussion on this?
Council Chair.
Councilman Wenzel.
Thank you. If we just approve this, it's, you know, we're approving the budget. Now, when, we should set up an agenda for the process of carrying this out and hiring an attorney. Now, not just pass it tonight, let's say we gotta take, you know, interviews or have a meeting on it. Let's go all the way on this instead of just stopping right here with just approval.
Absolutely.
Council Chair.
Hang on 1 second, time out.
Thank you.
Are you done here, Councilman?
Thank you, Council Chair. I think we need a special case. Once we have a case, we need to go back to our lawyer, then we go ahead and find somebody. So if you have a case that you wanna go ahead and consult with the special legal counsel, we could do that.
Well, what, I'm sorry, Council Chair?
So you can't have one here all the time.
No, I'm saying, but shouldn't are we gonna approve a certain individual?
Well, yeah, we can take that to us, but that would be completely different. We would
Yeah,
open
let's
it
set
up.
that up.
We would ask the clerk, I believe, to take this out to a public forum, and then we can have a day where we schedule it amongst this body, where we'll ask attorneys to come in here and present themselves, and we can make the motion on the majority.
Council Chair, can we do this? Can we
Hang on
do
1
that
second,
ASAP though?
Yeah, I mean, can we set something up tonight?
Well, we would ask, well, we could set something at a definitive time, maybe to have it be published by Monday. We just have to get the clerk to go through the city.
Oh, sure.
Let's go, let's do
I'm not
this
saying,
Monday.
you know, tomorrow or anything like that, but maybe a week from tomorrow or 2 weeks from tomorrow on a specific day. Set a specific time and date.
Well, I'll connect with the clerk to state, well, see what date we think works best, and then I'll send over an email to all of us, and if we can all agree to that time, we'll just move forward with
Council
it.
Chair.
Council Chair, I was trying to. Council Chair.
Hang on 1 second. I know, Councilman, you saying you had one.
Yeah, I'm just referring back to Councilman Winslow. I think this is important that this money should be, we should have an attorney on file right away, just in case something does pop up, and we're not waiting months to get something.
Thank you so much, Roger.
I was just saying that we just need to follow the charter.
Okay.
The charter is very clear and specific on it, so you don't ignore the corporation council, that we work together. And I think that how, as Councilman Ahmed said, by the issue.
Thank you so much. Councilman Constant. Thank you so much. All right, we have any other discussion here? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up, we have Comptroller King budget amendment. 9B, Councilman Saab.
I move that it's, Dearborn Heights City Council amend, FY 2023-24 fiscal year budgets by the amounts in the attachment as outlined in 9.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, and supported by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion on this? No discussion on here? You got something? Go ahead, Councilman, is it okay if the Councilman Bryan goes before you?
Yeah, I was just,
Thank you, go ahead, Councilman Bryan.
Well, I talked to Cynthia earlier today, Cindy and I talked, and, we have quite a few pages here and the amounts differ, and it's excessive. It's overspending. I just thought, we'd mention the fact that because it's over budget.
Yeah. We should, the administration should be definitely be holding a little tighter on the way we're spending, I guess, except for overspending. Councilman?
yeah, I mean, I was wondering what the total was on all these budget I don't see any decreases, well, there's something in it, but it's put right back on again, but, I mean, what's the total amount, of budget adjustment here?
Okay, there is no total because a lot of these are just moving from one GL account to the other, so they're staying within the department. Like, for instance, if you look at, building and engineering, where it says contractor services, C, that is where you're gonna see I am moving money from the part-time GL account to contract services to cover Ollie Dibbs' contract. So a lot of these just are moving funds from one account to the other, so there wouldn't be a total. There are a few, that we are taking funds from the fund balance. One of them is the treasurer, because postage and the printing of the invoices were a little bit more this year than what we had budgeted. So that one I am taking from the fund balance, and that is $10,000. Also, you will see there is a fund balance that does need to come out of $75,000 on the police department for cross guards. We did not budget enough for the cross guards. That would be M, police department.
Yeah.
Those two, I would say, would be $85,000 that would be coming out of the fund balance. And then there is another fund balance on 592 for the water department. That is $243,695 to cover excess expenses that were budgeted for last year. They didn't use it. Invoices came in this year. The money was put back into the fund balance, and now we have to take it out because these invoices were paid this year.
Council Chair, okay. Thank you. You just stated that on item C, the building and engineering contractual services, under $100,000 change to cover, Ali Deep's or the engineer's position. But on 8A, the budget amendments were $65,000. How come
Those are two different things. Yeah, the $65,000 is for him to become a permanent employee. But as of today, he's still a contractor. And the funds were distributed under part-time last year, or when we did our budget. So I'm just moving it from part-time to contractor services.
Yeah, you said that $100,000 was to cover his new position. You just said that.
To cover A and D.
No, I didn't.
Covers A and D.
To cover his contracted services, yes.
Contracted services.
Because that's from the beginning of July through now. So I'm just moving it from part-time to contracted services.
Okay. The crossing guard, how can we be so far off on, how many crossing guards do we have changed? Did we get like 10 more crossing guards we're paying now?
No.
Anticipate?
That is a very good question. That is coming out of payroll, so I would have to do some more research, because I really don't know off the top of my head. I just know that that is coming out of payroll, so we definitely have quite a few crossing guards that we only budgeted 95,000 for, and we're way over budget.
Yeah, we did, because, the mayor asked, how many new crossing? Can anybody ask how many new crossing guards we have? That we hired this year?
I can find out for you.
I don't know of any, I mean, maybe.
I've seen a few. How many? I've seen.
Can I stay on course, please?
Okay. All right, okay, that's good, thank you.
Ms. King, I have a question too. If you can move to, G library?
Yes.
I don't know, if you didn't, this one, can you go over it, please? It says,
Yes, that one is taking it out of capital, out of the,
so basically we had no budget from the appropriation from library fund balance. We amended it to be 65. Then,
well, that's actually coming out of his fund balance, because, we had repairs on the building, and we had repairs on equipment, and we didn't budget enough for those. It was necessary repairs and upgrades at the JFK and the CK library, including computer software, hardware, and multiple compressors.
so are we talking, this is the same 65,000, the one on top and the one on the bottom? So basically, when we add the 40 to the 25, that's the same 65 from the one on top, from account 738000699?
Okay, so we're taking 65,000 from fund balance,
Okay.
and we're moving 40,000 over to the building grounds, 738-738-931.
Okay.
Then we're moving 25,000 over to 738-738-932. So that's where the 65,000
And
comes from.
where did we get the 65,000 from again?
That's coming from their fund balance. The library has their separate fund balance.
But it says here the current budget was 0, so how will we?
Well, that's because it's fund balance. We don't budget for
Why don't we do
that.
this? That's okay, Councilman. Why don't we table this? I know there was a lot of mistakes. I know a couple of residents brought forward those mistakes.
Unfortunately, there were some typos. I do apologize.
And let's bring it back.
That's
Are
fine.
you
We
okay
can
with
do
amending
that.
your, amending that, Councilman? Then this was Councilman Saab. Are you okay with amending that? Okay. Let's just table it, yeah. Okay, so could you want to make that, table that, refer it back to the administration?
Refer it back to the administration.
Would you second that, Councilwoman Breyer?
Yes.
Okay. What is that?
It was Robert.
No, it was Robert Conson, correct. I'm sorry, I was reading the one above me. All right. Would you, yes. All right. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed?
This one, I mean, is this gonna be brought back to us?
It is, it's gonna be cleaned up and brought back to us.
Okay,
So we're tabling it.
Because of the typos. I'll clean it
Yep,
up.
let's clean it up, let's make it look good. I know somebody on social media threw some things up there, let's clean it up, make it look nice.
I do apologize for that. Thank you.
It's okay, thank you. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion fails. Next up, we have. Well, we'll pass it to the table.
The amended motion.
9C.
9C, we have Corporation Counsel Farina.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council receive, know, and file the notice of determination that increases the salary of the city's elected officials as recommended by the Dearborn Heights Local Officers Compensation Commission as outlined in 9-C.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Breyer, motion made by Councilman Ahmad. Up for discussion? Any discussion?
I would just like to thank the Compensation Commission for the work they do.
All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please take roll call?
Sure. Councilman Saab.
Yes.
Councilman Ahmad.
Yes.
Nancy Breyer. Yes. Robert Constant.
Yes.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Yes.
Tom Wenzel.
No.
Ian Mulready.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1.
Everybody just got a raise, congratulations. Next up, we have 9D. Library Director McCaffrey request for disposal.
Council Chair,
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the disposal of the following library items, which are unused, damaged, old and or unsafe, an old wooden desk table with a single drawer, 2 small window AC units, 83 used assorted Dell HP monitors replaced earlier this year, and 90 assorted Dell desktop PCs recently replaced through a grant purchase, as outlined in 9D.
Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion on that? I will say a few things. Director McCaffrey always goes above and beyond, and he makes sure that things look great. And I will tell you, if he's asking for these to be disposable, I definitely agree with him and take his word on it. Thank you, Director. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next up on the agenda, we have ordinance and resolution. 11A, Councilman Saab's resolution of budget amendment, Dearborn Heights Police Department directors. Councilman Saab?
I'm sorry. Put these resolution forward. The resolution is to amend the budget of the Dearborn Heights Police Department Director's recommended motion. That the Dearborn Heights City Council approve a resolution regarding the budget amendment related to the Police Department Directors and the following be resolved. Now therefore it be resolved that this council, unwavering its commitment to lawful governance, fiscal responsibility, and transparency, proposes a series of comprehensive measures to rectify the situation. Number 1, budgetary amendment. The council moves to enact an immediate amendment to the current budget, revisiting and adjusting allocations to adjust the financial implications of unauthorized creation of 2 director positions, Director of Police Operations, Director of Support Services with the Dearborn Heights Police Department. Number 2, elimination of compensation, recognizing the lack of recipient approval, adherence to legal process, and formal notification to the council. Compensation for all the directors in these unauthorized positions shall be eliminated forthwith. Number 3, refusal for legal fee coverage. The council unequivocally refuses to approve any funding for legal fees associated with the mayor's unilateral hiring decisions based on an email he had sent to former council chair. Such request shall be respectfully declined. Number 4, affirmation of Act 78 existence. The council reaffirms the existence and significance of Act 78, a law passed in 1964 with overwhelming public support. This affirmation is supported by the mayor's attorney's admission during his recall hearing and successful attempts to include the legally hired directors under Act 78 during police contract negotiation. Number 5, a moratorium on external hires. The council mandates that for the next 12 months, no positions outside of Act 78, excluding the chief, police officers, cadets, can be filled within the police department. This includes directors, commissioners, ombudsmen, contractors, and other related positions. Number 6, communication protocol. The city clerk hereby directed to communicate this resolution properly to all relevant stakeholders, transparently conveying the council's action, expectations, and ongoing ratification process. This motion upon approval shall be effective immediately as outlined in 11A.
Support. Motion made by Councilman Saab, supported by Councilman Ahmad. For discussion here, ladies and gentlemen. Any discussion here?
Council Chair.
Councilman Wenzel.
Thank you, Council Chair. Part of these employment situations, we're in a contract that was approved by City Council, the command officer's contract. I voted no on it, but because I had questions about it. This particular resolution is the perfect situation where we can have this council for City Council, this representation that we're just talking about, case by case basis. And because we don't know, I mean, all these words here are, pretty powerful, and we want an end result in this. But what are the possible ramifications this could cause the city or us as council members? So I think we need some outside advice on this before we move ahead with this.
Council Chair, with respect to Mr. Wenzel, Councilman Wenzel's comments. So, originally these positions were hired without council's approval, no note and file, nothing. And then when the mayor had gone sued through Act 78, he negotiated the positions back to include them, to drop the lawsuits against them. No matter where they are and stand with the contract that was forced upon them to vote on it, right? The problem is still, he hired these positions illegally from day one. He never came to council for approval. He never asked you for approval. He never came to you for advice. He never told you. We found out through gentleman right there from the press that he had these positions. And this is an ongoing thing. And the labor attorney is here with his opinion, and I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but his opinion is one-sided. And the consequences of this is their severance pay of 90 days, and I believe we should challenge the 90 days in court too.
Any other council members?
And I'm not done yet. I'm sorry, Councilman. This has affected so many police officers at the police department. And for you, and for anybody else sit here and say that, oh, let's table a look at the ramifications, he violated the city charter, plain and simple. We have a charter we follow, so should his administration. And this affects it's a domino effect of promotions throughout the police department. Everybody's paralyzed at the police department from getting hired.
Council Chair? Hang on 1 second, Councilman. Council, are you done here, sir?
Yeah.
Next we have Councilman Constant, we have Roger, our Corporation Council, and then we'll come back to you, Councilman Etienne.
Well, Council Chair, yeah, I know these positions were up for much discussion. They were part of the contract bargain for. I do remember our X-78 Commissioner Steve Lofkovich saying that something along the lines of they just appeared, or they were part of the deal, or in the contract. We all want to encourage, of course, hiring from within, and there was a lot of discussion about some of the outstanding problems in the police department, and what needed to be done to reform the police department. So I think at a minimum, we might finish that study session that we had regarding the police department, the problems in the police department, before we eliminate these positions. And then I'd like to hear what the Labor Council has to say about how they were included in the contract, if you recall that specifically. In other words, if they were, those new positions were bargained for and part of the contract, or were they just thrown in after the fact?
Mr. Makula?
You have a question for Council?
Before we all start getting on questions, Mr. Makula, I'm just going to have you, before I have you start, I'm going to go to Roger real quick, because I gave him, if that's okay, unless you want him to start.
Let him start, and then I'm gonna.
Councilman, are you okay with that as well, Tom? Sure. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Makula.
So the police director positions and the chief of police are specifically identified in the collective bargaining agreement with the command officers union. It says the parties recognized under this agreement reached under PARA, which is the Public Employment Relations Act. The following individuals will retain their positions: Jared Hart, Chief of Police; Paul Vanderplow, Director of Support Services; Kevin Swope, Director of Police Operations. It is further agreed that should the city fill the director's positions in the future, those positions will be filled in accordance with Act 78 provisions. That's the language from the contract.
They're sort of reserved. Is that a fair statement?
1 second.
What do you mean they
So
were
in other words,
preserved?
Those two positions that were filled when the contract was bargained for, and the contract acknowledges that and says, okay, these gentlemen will remain in these positions, and in the future, if the positions have to be filled, the director, they'll be done in accordance with State Law Act 78.
That's correct, which could be through the Act 78 process, or, if the parties decided to negotiate with one another again on the same topic, they could opt to do that also.
So do you have an opinion on, so that was, the contract was voted in, if the city council subsequently defunds those positions, or, do you have a comment on, the labor implications of that?
The
labor
the
contract implications of that.
Yeah, the contract would remain in effect, as far as our obligations to the union. As far as, what the directors choose to do if they're terminated, certainly a risk of, a lawsuit by them. I don't represent them, I can't speak on their behalf, but there is a risk of that.
Okay, thank you. Council Chair, hang on 1 second. I will hit Councilman Tom Wenzel first, and you can stay up there, Mr. McCullough, if that's okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Chair. That was, when this contract was put before us, that's the question I brought up, that positions were filled without following Act 78, admitting that they didn't follow Act 78. But from now on, we will follow Act 78. And I didn't like that at all, and I believe I was the only one who voted no on that contract. But I'm just worried about, say if I agree or disagree with this resolution, and someone says it's a 90-day pay. I mean, is that etched in stone? I mean, I've got a friend in the audience that I'd like him to state his opinion only to himself and to the audience. If he can come up and speak, we have Gary Miyagi come up and speak.
Unfortunately, Councilman, we can't have that. I'm so sorry.
Why not?
Because he doesn't represent the city.
I'm not asking him. I'm telling him to give his opinion to the audience.
I'm so sorry, Councilman. It's not public comments currently. Council Chair? Hang on 1 second, Councilman. I'm sorry, I can't have that be done. As much as I would love to honor the opinion of our former corporation council, which I would definitely, hear the opinion, but unfortunately that's out of Robert's rules of order.
Okay, well then, I'd like to ask Gary Miyagi a question.
You would have to make a vote on that, sir.
Council Chair, that's why I raised the question, is he advising the council?
No, he's
That's why I
advising
asked
the
him when he
audience.
got up and spoke. And Chris Miyake is speaking on the issue. I still have my chance to speak.
Yes.
And it's being cut off. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Please go through the chair one more time. Councilman, unfortunately, I'm not gonna grant it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, this is my concern. It was stated that they would these positions would be paid a 90-day severance pay, and I've talked to different people, and they're under contract for 3-year contract. Now I'm hearing we might be liable for that 3 years pay.
No.
Not just 90.
I don't think any court would hold up, or any judge would hold that up and say,
Council Chair, please.
Hang on 1 second, Councilman. I'm gonna go over to Roger, who's next. Councilman Ahmad and Council Saab, you'll have a chance to speak back on this.
Okay, do you want Chris to?
I don't know, do you wanna answer that question? Will they be paid for 90-day severance, or would you say they would be paid for 3 years at their pay every single day, which I highly doubt that would be the case.
It depends what the contract says, but if it's a 3-year term and you're separating them early, is there a 90-day provision that says,
Yes.
if you're separated early, you only get 90
Did you
days?
do any assistance in helping out in this contract?
No.
Okay.
Council, please.
Well, I'm gonna let Roger go, please.
Thank you. I think when I came in, Council Chairman, may I?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. When I came in, I think we had a system where we had a police chief every 6 months. There were 4. There would be 6, 6, 6, 6. I saw no objection from this city council, no disrespect, or anybody else as to the system that these guys would retire at a $900,000. Every one of them. 4. We come in, we get a new chief, and then we have a commissioner pass away. Now, the motion to defund the directors and constructively terminate the chief of police, the city council has heard from the labor attorney when he spoke earlier about the para and the power.
He's mentioning the chief. Nobody's mentioning the chief.
You are constructively terminating, and I didn't interrupt you when you spoke, Council Chair.
He's called for a point of order, Roger. Let's continue on that. He can say point of order. Go ahead.
City council has heard from the labor attorney on the issue about how it's in the contract and heard the contract being read. the city council approved the tentative collective bargaining agreement between the city and the Command Officers Association, Dearborn Heights Police Supervisors Association on February 28, 2023, in motion 23-099. The directors just completed their one-year anniversary today. The chief and directors have partnered with the Department of Justice, Community-Oriented Policing Services, DOJ COPS. We're the only city in the country that's had the Department of Justice do a full examination. I have not seen, and I'm evidence-based, I have not seen the councilman may provide any areas of abuse to the community, any violation of any financial discrepancies, anything to show that the chief, the directors have done anything to hurt the city. No evidence. However, the Department of Justice is providing a program and an analysis, and there have been severe problems which the chief has outlined to you. If approved, the city council will place our community at risk of, I'm finishing up, and I'm gonna say,
Roger,
please, my last
real
sentence.
quick.
Yeah, it hurts my voice, I apologize.
Okay, go ahead.
If approved, the city council, whether you got Miyake up there talking about stuff that he's let go for 26 years, the city council will place our community.
Ask him.
Roger, community at risk
Please stop.
meeting is this?
Please stop.
of civil litigation.
Roger, please stop. You're pushing this and you're getting too emotional on this. You don't represent, let me finish, Roger, please don't interrupt us. Roger, you represent this council as much as you represent this administration as much. And do me a favor, when you're delivering your message moving forward, please.
Yes.
Act like you care a little bit about this council.
I absolutely care.
It doesn't seem that way.
You're opening yourselves to litigation.
Great. Roger,
That's why I care.
Roger, since the mayor has been in office, we've had more litigations in the city than we have in the entire state. Point of order. Come on, go through the chair.
May I address your comment?
Please, I don't need you to. Thank you.
Well, you had Mayor Palenko and Gary Miyake.
I did not.
Defamation, anybody? You can kick him out.
Get this guy out of here.
You can ask him to leave.
Roger, please stop.
Bye-bye.
Councilor, I have a question. I know you keep mentioning the contract between the union and the administration. Are you familiar with our charter?
I am.
You are. Don't the mayor has to come through city council when he's coming up with new positions as directors or departments?
I
Like
don't,
he's doing right now with the other one that we just didn't approve. Or we approved one and we didn't approve the other two, correct?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't have the charter memorized. I mean, I could give you an opinion if I look at it, but.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. I mean, this is my point. I know somebody earlier today, a resident said we dropped the ball. We did drop the ball because we didn't have no legal counsel, and we still have no legal counsel, to be honest with you. We've been blinded for the whole year, last year, and now we're trying to fix it. Per charter, the mayor has to come through council for new director position and for new departments. And the mayor did not, and he still made a contract with the union and included some position that he was not supposed to do so.
Are
So
you
I think
asking me to respond to that?
No,
or
I think he's just giving you facts.
Because you said you're aware of our charter, and then you said you don't have an answer. So I'm just telling you.
Okay,
It's
I
exactly what
do
you're
think
trying
he
to do
did
right
come
now,
to the council when getting approval for the collective bargaining agreement.
Well, this is different. This is between the union and the administration. It's not about, I mean, whatever the union agreed, but we're talking about the position to start with. Did he have the power authority to start this, to have those positions?
Prior to doing I think what the council.
Without coming back to the council for approval?
Prior to being ratified by the union.
Yeah, prior to being ratified, I don't know if he had the obligation to or if he did, but I know that
Well,
as
I can
seeking
answer, I'm
approval.
not a
he did.
lawyer, but I can answer it for you for somebody that's been understanding the charter for the last 3 years. It's 100% illegal. And I think you, as an attorney, a distinguished attorney, would know that if the charter states the money's approved to the council, then I'm sure we know that that would be an illegal hire of 1 or 2 individuals. But before doing so, we're going to hang on. He was next. Roger, we're gonna tone it down. We're not gonna be emotional. Please, go ahead.
Council. with the original contract for the director's position, were you not involved in the contracts?
I don't believe so.
You sure?
I'm not 100% sure. I do a lot of
Because,
work.
from what I remember, the mayor's recollection, everything, that's how I found out about you. But you're saying that you don't know nothing about the charter, but the charter still, the mayor's exact wording was, when he hired these positions, we asked him was, I can bypass, council according to the attorney, and you were his labor attorney then. So that's number one.
Yeah, I didn't make that.
You were involved with the
email.
original contract and the labor contract, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember being involved in the director's contracts. I was clearly involved in negotiating the CBA.
Okay. My second comment is to Corp Counsel about the DOJ, the Department of Justice Cops Office. They do not investigate anything. They're not investigators. You guys keep putting this assumption out to the public. They're doing all these criminal investigations. I sat with them. They sat with them. We sat with them. You weren't there. They don't investigate. So stop saying you're the point of order. Please. Hold on a minute. The office that we met with at Canfield, their first question to us, their first sentence to us was, we do not investigate. We do not investigate. They can't give us recommendations, and they go back and give recommendations. This narrative that this department is under 17 investigations that the mayor can't talk about because it's under investigation every single time. Where are they?
Can I speak?
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
It falls back again, my resolution, you guys are saying it has not harmed the city, you're saying. It harmed every single contract employee in the police department by not being able to get promoted to those positions. Deputy chiefs, lieutenants, captains. What happened to them? They don't exist? You're saying every 6 months we had a chief. Show me that data. You have before I pull it up. I'm bluntly asking you. You're coming at us with it. I'm telling you, show me every chief for the past, before you came 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. And in no place here are these resolutions that I ever reference the chief. And you're coming at me saying like I'm going after the chief. I'm not.
You are.
That chief, where's my resolution say the chief?
Roger, no, please stop. Please stop, Roger. We're not going to debate that. Are you done, Councilman?
No, these are honest questions that need to be asked. We propose a resolution forward in front of council, in front of the public. He wants to come and open up something that completely was not said. And it's false and it's misleading. Okay. Council Chair, and I want to know the 4 chiefs, since you have this data right in front of you and you're reading off your computer, the 4 chiefs within 24 months, that left every 6 months. So I know who we're talking about.
I will tell you to debunk that, Councilman, if I may. Our former chief, Mark Myers, was here for a year, so the whole 6-month thing is bullcrap.
Okay. So if you want to speak something on the record, speak facts, don't mislead, and I'm not trying this emotional. This is facts. It is affecting our families and the families of our employees of our city. They're under contract. Why would you hire an illegal position and admit it's illegal, then go put it in a contract? It's still an illegal position. Because those 2 positions, probably 10 other officers could have gone promoted within the department.
Yeah,
Hang on 1 second, Roger. Are you done?
No.
Love it.
Mr. McCool, I'm sorry to keep you off, man. Are you billing the city for your time, by the way, today?
I'm compensated for appearing here, yes.
Yeah, for probably hours. And what's your hour review? I'm sorry.
$275.
Roger, we're gonna amend that, by the way, because we've approved on council. Tom, I think, put the motion.
Yep.
We're not to pay anybody more than $175 an hour, so please fix that moving forward.
I just know that you voted on him before I came in.
Correct. Let's go ahead and fix that.
Any other question? Mr. McCool, who asked you to come here today?
The mayor asked me.
The mayor? Okay. Okay.
No, the mayor's. Where is the mayor? He's out of the building.
Well,
that's right.
And Corporation Council.
Okay. Do we have, okay, any other questions from council members before I move over to the Corporation Council? Any other questions?
Where's the color?
Roger, we're not gonna be emotional. It's gonna be quick. If I feel anything out of that, we're just gonna make a quick vote and move forward.
you can take his vote, but I'm just saying that, actually, the city council also asked Mr. McCool when it first came up to speak on the issue.
At a study session, which he never showed up, and you guys didn't pull through it with that.
Yeah, we provided it. He did show up, but you guys did an award ceremony. Unfortunately, he had to leave.
Oh.
I did. I was on the Zoom, and I had a personal
We
obligation
had a
later in
tree-lighting
the evening
ceremony. You
that I
probably didn't want the
told you
council
about.
there, huh, Roger?
No, it wasn't a tree-lighting ceremony.
It was.
No, it was an awards we were giving out, which was fine. It was awards that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
last-
he had
last
limited
year.
time, right?
It was the council chair was retiring
I remember that.
from the city council.
Any other- anything
In
else?
any case, you've given me a chance to speak, I'm just gonna be very short. I think the charter, section 5.3, duties of the mayor in response. Except as is otherwise provided in this charter, the mayor shall have the power of appointment and removal over all directors, controller, commissions, and boards which are in charge of the several departments. It's a shall. It's not a may. It's not a will. It's a shall. And then when we talk about Department of Justice, when we talk about investigation, you've done over 50 interviews. Community lead people, police officers, has been completely done within department, and there's a report. So when you say to Hal, that the police department is operating, with problems, I have not seen one evidence to support from Councilman Saab of any impropriety, anything illegal, and anything, I'm trying to keep my voice more crazy. Anything to show that how the police officers are not diligent in doing their duties and keeping the city safe. In fact, if you look at the CompStat statistics and the amount of officers hired since they took charge, it's a tremendous turnaround in the department. That golden circle is not a joke.
Order, nothing from the audience, guys, please, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if you do it again.
And all I can say is, you are, and Councilman Wenzel was correct. He said that you're likely going to need a lawyer. You're now opening the city up for liability without any justification other than personal issues. And I said to him, it's carried over from before he's a councilman to currently.
Roger, I will just add on a few things on this, Councilman Saab, for putting this forward. I want you to know, that, this was, to me, it was a tough decision, because I believe there was a resident that stated, these people had families that were sitting at home, and I understand that fully. But I also know, that if we allow this to happen in Dearborn Heights to our police department, are we gonna be okay for it to happen to our fire department? Because there's no difference. This is two public service entities in our city. If you have anything with these contracts, it's scary. It really is. I also think, there needs to be some type of transition time, Councilman, that maybe we can add on here, maybe a 7 days or 10 days, giving a good transition between the two directors. If this were to pass, if it doesn't, they get to stay. But I think that there needs to be some added, maybe some, an extra day, an extra 7 days or 10 days, Councilman. If you'd like to make that amendment, if you don't, the resolution's yours. But I want you to know, that at the end of the day, everybody needs to follow to the charter. And if the union wants to go back and say, hey, we've negotiated, we agreed, and you want to come back to council, making a council a budget amendment, and go ahead and, that's okay. But you have to follow process and procedure, attorney. You have to follow process and procedure. And today, with these two positions, nobody here in this body, at least for myself or Councilman Amato or whoever's been here for the last year, voted for any of these positions. We woke up one day on TCD. And here we have 1 year later. And you know what? Councilman Amato's right. We dropped the ball. The resident is right. We dropped the ball. But the ball is bounced back up and we're holding on to it. And so I'm going to give you some last closing remarks, and we're going to go ahead and move this to a vote. And we'll have Councilman Constant end this, actually.
So, we're gonna go back to court counsel's comments. He keeps saying that it's always the emotion part behind it. Like, what's the emotion behind it? We're putting this. It's not emotion. I don't mind if we get rid of them. I mean, if we let them go, when they come back, get hired through the process, they're more than welcome to stay. I'm not against it. My issue is the charter. The charter was not followed to begin with, and then they tried covering it up by adding it into negotiations. But you still violated the charter hiring them. And then you say, well, where do I see the problem or anything being committed? The hiring process is within now. You know, I'm not gonna talk about employees and the way they're hiring things and the people they're hiring, but we're gonna leave that. We have one of the directors driving a car, responding to calls that he's not supposed to. That's a liability to the city. If he crashes and kills somebody while driving with his lights on, does he have authority to? I asked you this before as a resident, and you said, no.
Not correct.
Point of order, go through the council chair, please don't respond, Roger, moving forward.
Other processes is that all these civil positions in the city and the police department have gotten filled in the past 6-7 months without, and with just,
Is that point of order, Councilman?
No, I'm saying these other positions aren't part of this right now. You know,
no, he said, he referred to, if anything is wrong, as its motion. I've spoken to so many police officers, and it's affecting them. And you're not speaking, you're sticking with the status quo. I understand, but Roger, I believe me, they don't talk to you because anything you say can go right to the mirror.
Point of order, come on, guys, listen.
Half of them apply to Dearborn.
There you go, come on, point of order, guys, I got Councilman Compton, and he's the last one.
To be honest with you,
We're gonna make a vote.
I would be a hypocrite if I go tell you here, give them 30 days to reteach, because now we're actually allowing them to violate the contract. No, move on it and let's go.
Okay, go ahead, Bob?
Well, I would just like to hear from the police supervisors union, you know, what their position is on this. I hear what Councilman Saab says, and I have heard some different things, but I mean, officially, it's part of the contract. So I would like to hear, you know,
Well, we don't have, is there anybody here from the police unions?
well, not now, I mean, before, you know, they say, hey, no, we traded this for this, or there was a bargain for exchange, or no, those were snuck in, or, you know, whatever. I would like to hear from the union, what they have to say about these positions.
Guys, point of order, please. No
That
more
will
in
be
the audience.
done in closed session.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman, you're gonna be the last one. Please, guys, we gotta wrap this up. We're spending, Councilman, I'm out, and then you.
Okay. The command officer's contract, when it was brought up, I refused to vote on it because not for the people in those positions, but for those positions. But it passed anyway. But a month or so ago, we had one of the most respected residents in the city of Dearborn Heights for the last 25 or 30 years come up here, John Riley III, and he stated that any position or change that causes a change in the pension account has to have an actuary. It's a state law.
Wow. It is.
And he stated that right there at the podium, a state law, that any position or change to adding to the pension fund has to have an actuary.
And we never received one.
We never got it on any of these.
Councilman, can we move?
Yeah, really fast, Council Chair, thank you so, I mean, going back to what Councilman Constant said, but I don't think we need to hear from the union.
No.
They need to follow the charter as we do follow the charter. So whatever they say, it has to be following the charter. And just whatever, you know, Corp Council said, it's nothing personal against the people who hold this position. It's something about the position itself being created without coming back to the council for approval. And that's it.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much. We're gonna go to take a vote on this. Motion made by Councilman Saab, supported by Councilman Ahmad. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Okay. Denise Malinowski Nixon.
Yes.
Hassan Saab.
Yes.
Moby Jones.
Yes.
Nancy Breyer.
Because I'm worried about a lawsuit, my answer is no.
There is no lawsuit.
Tom Wenzel.
Yes.
Worried about it last year.
Hassan Ahmad.
Yes.
Robert Caston.
No.
Motion carries 5-2.
Guys, thank you. Next up, we have 11B, Councilman Saab, Resolution, Dearborn Heights Police Department K-9.
I'll read that too. 11B, resolution, Dearborn Heights Police Department K-9s. Recommended motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve a resolution regarding the Police Department K-9s, and that the following be resolved now. Therefore, it be resolved that this council steadfast with a commitment to transparency, fairness, and fiscal responsibility, proposes the following measures. Number one, review of canine grant utilization. Initiate a thorough review of the decision to acquire 3 canines through grants, considering the scale of our department and benchmarking against neighboring practices. Number 2, transparent cost disclosure. Request the police department to tactfully disclose additional costs not covered by the grants, fostering a clear understanding of physical implications. Number 3, consider of residency, which I know maybe this should not be on here, but it's encouraging consideration of Dearborn Heights residency as a criteria in the selection of canine recipients, promoting the connection with the community. Number 4 is format of the grant implementation, formally request to postpone of canine grant implementation until the council completes a comprehensive review, including conducting new interviews. And number 5 is the communication protocols to direct the city clerk to promptly and effectively communicate this resolution to all relevant stakeholders, emphasizing collaboration and transparency and adherence to best practice. This resolution, upon approval, is to be implemented with immediate effect as outlined in 11A.
Made by Councilman Saab. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by?
Supported.
Supported by Councilman Ahmad. Chair. Done. All right, open up for discussion, Councilman Saab.
So, I was sitting as a resident, when this got brought up. They said, this grant covers everything. This grant, why do we need to? Councilman Winslow got disrespected a few times when we were up here talking, when he was asking questions. Number 1 is Dearborn, a neighboring city who has double the police department we do, has 2 canines. There's no reason for us to have 3. My second concern is the canine we currently have in the city, Twix, that wasn't given back to his handler, is with a police officer that is not a certified handler, that's driving around in a police vehicle, going to public places. He has no training. He's not certified. He's never been trained for it. That's a liability to the city, and I don't understand why the police department allows this to happen. This dog should have been given back to its handler, or if not, it should have been put as a support dog in the police department. It should not go out in public. That dog is a command dog. If he sees a toy, he sees something. I spoke to somebody from canine training that said that, one day the dog might see a bear or somebody carrying it. His handler is not trained to give him the commands to stop. And he will continue to attack. That's a liability for the city and all the residents. He should not have that dog with him. He's not trained. He has not been put through the academy. And once he does, great. My other question is the outfits. The vehicles. These vehicles are special made vehicles. They cost $60,000, $70,000 to outfit these vehicles. And this is not included in the grant. The overtime is not included in the grant. The interview process, there was nobody from a canine training academy or facility there to interview. It was a director and 1 other personnel from the police department. And I would really like you guys to consider this, even to table this, to hold off on 3 dogs. The money that's going to come with it is crazy. And
Sure. Councilman, any other comments from council members? Councilwoman Yanowski, I want to call you Breyer.
Long way, she's right. I do have a friend who is a canine trainer, and I know that the dogs are bonded for life. That's the way they're trained to be with their handler. You can't separate them. That's why past practice, we had a canine officer leave when I was on council before. We gave him the dog to follow with him, because that dog will only respond to him. They bond to the point that dog sleeps next to them all night long and is with them. They are just, and also too, their work lifespan is short. It's about 7 years because of them jumping in and out of the car, wear and tear on their joints. So you've got a canine dog that's good for about 7 years, and they bond for life with their handler. Usually after the 7 years, they give it to their handler, or if the handler has to leave for whatever reason, retirement, you give it to them. And I had suggested this in the past also too, when you give it to the handler, sell it to them, and then convey the title of ownership to them, so if something does happen while it's in their care, let's say it does get old and bite somebody, it doesn't come back to the city because it no longer belongs to us. We sold it to that handler, for about, $1, no big deal.
Thank you. Any other comments from council members?
Council Chair? Well, I applaud Councilman Saab for bringing this to our attention, but I would like to hear, get some background from, the department and the canine unit as to.
We don't have a canine unit.
Or from the department about these dogs, about this, their position on this.
All right, Council Chair. Councilman, we have Councilman Wenzel first, then Councilman Hahn second.
Thank you. The residency part, I think we might be able to get around that. I mean, we're not discriminating against employing an officer. What we're doing is we have a special task in the city, and we might require that that person live in the city to perform that task. We're not gonna say you can't, you're out of the city, you can't work in the city, but this was specific task, you must live in the city, you're still employed. And secondly, we've got to look into this contract, because I mentioned before, I have a couple friends that have canine units, canine officers, and Lincoln Park and Garden City, and actually 3 in Taylor. When they retire, the officer gets the dog. That's like 100% all the time. But they had to sign a contract that they would not use that dog for commercial reasons to make money. I'd say if that officer retired and he opened up a private investigating company, I say, hey, I'm contracting out to all the public schools to go sniff lockers for, $300 a day or something. It's got stipulated in there that that dog cannot be used to make money.
Yeah. So I would just say to the council, if I can interrupt real quick. It's different when you're up here as the chair and you can't scream councilman and speak on almost every agenda item, but I know Nancy, you're probably happy with that, huh? Excuse me. I will say to the councilman, I think that this is something that I agree with you on. I think that we also need to ensure, though, wording this correctly. One, the number 3 about ensuring that they live, the residency, we need to be careful for. I think we also need to be careful for not overstepping our boundaries. Also, as legislators don't determine how they go about the process of interviewing. But what we could do is we can implement that if we are going to move, into holding off on these dogs, or if we do approve or whatnot, that the interviews happen by an actual proper canine training. I agree with many of this, but I think we also need to have this, I would say, designed a little differently. I definitely agree. I don't think we need 3, but I mean, according to what an individual told me recently, each dog will only cost the city $5,000. Again, I don't know if that's factual or not.
16,000.
A year?
And the last one was 16,000 that we approved.
Okay. So 16,000 a year. I mean, that's.
No.
Well, hang on, guys.
That's training.
Hang on, guys. So maybe we can just something with this. I think this is good. I think this is something we need to look into. But the way this motion sits here, we could potentially be putting ourselves in liability, and I don't want to put us in that position. I'm not saying that I don't agree with it.
So,
let me just finish, Councilman. What I'm saying is we have to make sure that we adjust this resolution a little better to protecting us, and so that we're not open for a potential, an individual who could have a dog now and say, oh, they're coming after me, I'm going to file a lawsuit against the council. Go ahead.
Well, maybe we can refer this and this issue and then some of the other issues to a quickly scheduled study session.
I don't think it needs a study session. I think it needs to be addressed better.
Council Chair.
Go ahead. I'm going to let the councilman go. Okay. Actually, Councilman Ahmad was next.
No, but
why don't we just amend the motion and say, let's stop any processing we have with this thing right now, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, but one thing I'd like to amend to this is, Councilman, is the current dog that this individual has, I'm not against him having it by any means. It just should not be in public places with him on duty. He's not a certified trainer or handler to handle it.
That's a danger.
It's a liability. If one day he's at a school or at an event or at a store and something happens, we're the ones on the hook for it. That's my issue. I hope he can get the training and needs to become a handler. More power to him. Or her. I have no issue. It's just the liability is that we're giving somebody a dog that's trained to take commands that he's not trained for.
I agree 100%.
So, and I really believe that Corp Council should implement that immediately. That if that dog is going to go home with him, he should stay home. Should not be brought to public events. It should not be traveling in the car with him while he's on duty because it's a liability. He's not trained.
Councilman, Chair.
Roger, thank you so much.
You got a response?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, sir. I don't think your facts are accurate. I've heard other reports, and I think that how, as Councilman Johnson said, this needs to hear from the ones working on it. I think I appreciate your experience, Councilman Saad. I don't think you have experience in the area of this creature. I think you need to listen to professionals. They're not here. Maybe you should do that and get a report before you make a vote. You asked me the question. I'm telling you, your facts are not accurate.
Thank you.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
Thank you, Council Chair. I do agree with you that I think we need to address this a little bit better. If you ask me my opinion, I would love to have 3 dogs, to be honest with you, but I was under the impression when it was presented to us before that everything was covered through the grant.
Correct.
So now it's a different story that we have to pay for stuff. It makes a big difference. So I think I don't know if we can go back and get some more information, whether the grant's gonna cover everything, the cars, the training, all this stuff, or the city has to cover it. Well, let's hear it from the police department.
I also, if I may, yes, if I can interrupt real quick, I also like Councilman Thomas's approach on this, and I think it's ultimately saying, let's put a stop and a hold on everything right now. Let's hold off, forget the grants, that's great. I think the dog that they're currently holding right now, let's just ensure that, look, at the end of the day, we all wanna be protected here, right? So if there is a dog right now that's, and he didn't go through proper canine training, so let's just put a hold on everything. Let's keep that dog maybe, wherever it was before he was with that trainer, or keep it with the trainer, but keep it at home. And let us, just revisit this a little bit because there's a lot of stipulations that are going on.
I apologize, Council Chair. I'm just a little confused. I understood, and as far as I know, that all of this was paid for by the grants. Now, in the third dog, now I understand with Vanderplow and Councilman Wenzel, there was a discrepancy. And I know that the dogs work a certain amount of hours, and then the other dog takes over, and then the other one takes over the shifts. So I understood that all of it was paid for by the grant. The city didn't have to pay for anything. However, if I'm wrong, we can correct it, and you can approve it if it's all paid for by you're not paying a dime. But if you are, I thought that's what they told us when they were at the stand when they presented it. So.
Council Chair?
Councilwoman Maxwell.
I just have one last little comment. If we're getting 3 dogs, couldn't we stagger them? Because like I said, their lifespan to work is 7 years. They're gonna all expire at the same time. Why can't we get a dog and then 2 years later get another one, 2 years later?
So that's why I think we should really, this is something that needs to be revisited. I think if the councilman is okay with amending to what Councilman Wenzel stated, let's just put a hold on everything right now. Let's ask that the current canine holder to just keep the dog at home for now. Let's make sure that he can get the proper training through a canine trainer. And nobody's saying we don't want an certain individual, or we don't want this, or we don't want that. I think this is more just saying, let's get proper training.
I think Council Chair, there's a proposal that lists everything, like they do with everything, that has all the training, everything else. There's nobody riding around with a dog. That's why I said Councilman Saab. I don't know.
Can you openly tell us that there was training, that the man that is carrying the dog did go through a canine training?
I'll check. I don't know who that is.
I'll check. That's not an answer for both of us.
Yeah, I'll check, yes.
The answer is yes.
No, we're not doing that.
Council Chair, one last thing.
Go ahead. We're gonna say this and we're gonna go to wrap it up.
And just if the current gentleman that has the dog is gonna be put through training, I'm fine with that dog being put through training. But as for the other 2 dogs in grants, we honestly don't have enough police officers on the road to work these shifts different and all that. We just don't need them right now. So that's I'm willing to amend that.
Just putting a hold on everything.
Council Chair, when I was a Wayne County prosecutor and we used our dogs in our canine units, I ran the auto theft, the dogs are always on the street. I ran worked with the narcotics, and I signed narcotic warrants for 1 full year for Detroit. So I know the dogs, and I know that they were utilized on the street, backing up the officers and with the officers, especially with traffic stops, especially with raids on houses and all that.
In Detroit? It's 3 times the size of Dearborn Heights.
No, I'm just saying that with the 3, as the councilwoman shared, the 3 would take the stress off of 1 or 2, and the 3rd would help them, especially the longevity. And I've had
Thank you, Roger. I appreciate your opinion. And I know Councilman Saab said he's willing to amend his budget to say we're gonna put a hold on everything right now. As far as, Madam Clerk, is that something that can be done?
We don't wanna do that, we wanna put a hold on any of the.
No, so we can table this, then we would have to suspend the rules and then put, different, So this motion, we're just gonna amend it to stating that this motion is gonna say we're gonna put a complete hold on the canine, dogs, the 3 canine dogs in the city of Dearborn Heights. That's what we're amending.
So I amend the motion to put a hold on
the
3 canine positions and the grants, until we get more information, more clarification, and expenditures, and so on.
You second that, Councilman Ahmad? Okay.
How are you gonna accomplish that?
What is it?
How are you gonna accomplish that?
We are going, I'll get in contact with you on this one. First thing tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna move it to a study session. And any information that's given to the council, Roger, I also want you to send over, if anything is given to the chair, I want it to be shared with every single council member up here. Regardless of me being the chair, we were all elected equally over here.
Yeah, just make sure that, I didn't wanna, I know when we went to the MML training on violating Open Meetings Act, I didn't want people responding, and I couldn't do it on my computer when I responded to his email. I don't care who it is. But you don't want all of them, because then you're having a meeting and deciding an issue. And you wanna be careful.
You can blind copy everybody.
I couldn't do it, but I'll make sure.
David Cooper, we pay good money for that.
Yes, we'll make sure you get it.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Hold on.
I just wanna make sure, you are putting the resolution on hold for further clarification, and moving it to a study session.
And you're putting all dogs on hold right now.
All procedures within the police department on hold.
All activity concerning the dog.
All training, everything.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have 13B, temporary food truck pet cart license renewal application.
13A.
I'm so sorry, where are we? 13A, we're gonna start with new business, 13A, business license renewal. Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council review the business licenses for the Fairlane Eagles, number 3861 at 2073 Van Born, the Doghouse Bar and Grill at 21350 Van Born, and the Boneyard at 7010 North Telegraph, and Fetchers on the Beach at 5127 South Beach Daily, is outlined in 13A.
A second.
Seconded by motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion on that? I will say a quick little funny story, since just to ease it up here a little bit. My father's friend told me when he was young, he used to go out to they used to call it the disco. They didn't want to call it the club. They would say, yeah, we would go to the disco, we would dance. He said, and our hangout night was at the Boneyard, right there on Telegraph. And he said one night his friend was so intoxicated when he was given his vehicle. The vehicle was a different person's Porsche, like a very expensive vehicle. The valet guy gave it to him. He jumped on it, drove it home, woke up in the morning, and had this very expensive vehicle. This we're talking in like the 60s, 70s, way before I was born. But every January we do a renewal of the Boneyard, and I think of that story. I just wanted to share it with everybody today. Congratulations to the Boneyard for being in the city, a staple in the city for many, many years. With that, any other discussion here? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up is 13B, temporary food truck tent cart license renewal application.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the temporary food truck tent cart license renewal application for Solid Oak Eatery as outlined in 13-3.
Support by motion made by Councilman Ahmad, supported by Councilman Saab.
Any discussion on that?
Yes. Everybody that's familiar with the Van Born corridor, this place is a pretty neat place to actually have some jerky and sausage. It's unbelievable. It's all made fresh in-house. And honestly, support local businesses and small businesses. I should try them out. They're phenomenal people. Thanks to Councilman Tom Winsall for introducing them to us. I've been addicted ever since.
Thank you so much. Any other discussions? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next up on the agenda is members of the public. Order number 14A, comments from council members. This is my favorite part. The guys are going to keep it slim, brief, and quick.
Council Chair.
They said we're going to close our meeting today before 10 p.m. Councilman Ahmad.
Thank you, Council Chair. First, I would like to extend my congratulations to you, Council Chair, for being voted on. Your dedication, leadership, and commitment have not gone unnoticed. I look forward to working closely with you in the coming year, collaborating on initiatives that will enhance the lives of our residents and propel our city to new heights. To our residents, I express my deepest gratitude for the trust you have placed in me and my fellow council members. Serving you has been a tremendous honor, and I am eager to continue working tirelessly on your behalf. Your engagement and support are the driving forces that move our community forward, and I'm committed to serving you to the best of my ability. Your feedback and involvement are invaluable, and I encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts and ideas with us. I also want to extend a hearty congratulations to the newest member of our council, Councilwoman Milorowski and Councilman Saab. Your commitment to public service is commendable, and I look forward to collaborating with you as we strive to make Dearborn Heights an even better place to live. To council members Breyer, Constant, and Winslow, I extend my sincere thanks for your dedicated service. Your contribution have been instrumental in shaping the path of our city, and I'm grateful for the hard work and commitment you have demonstrated. As the 2023 Council welcomes the new members, let us unite in our shared goal of making this year a productive and prosperous one for Dearborn Heights. A special thank you is also in order for Madam Clerk and the entire staff who work diligently behind the scenes. Your efforts ensure the smooth function of our meetings and contribute significantly to the success of our endeavors. Your dedication is outstanding, and we are grateful for the professionalism and efficiency you bring to our council proceedings. I also would like to extend a heartfelt appreciation to all the city employees who work tirelessly to make Dearborn Heights the vibrant and thriving community it is. From public works to public safety, administrative to maintenance roles, your dedication and hard work do not go unnoticed. Our city is indebted to your commitment to excellence, and we are grateful for the contribution each of you makes every day. I also want to take a moment to recognize National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. It is a day dedicated to honoring and expressing our deepest gratitude to the men and women who serve on the front lines, safeguarding our community with courage and dedication. To our local law enforcement officer, we extend our appreciation for your commitment to public safety and the well-being of our residents. Alas, I wish each of you a happy and fulfilling new year. Together, let us continue to work hand in hand, building a community that we can all proud to call home. Thank you, and let's make 2024 a year of progress, unity, and shared achievements. Thank you, Council Chair.
You know, this councilman is absolutely amazing, and I swear, so genuine, recognizing everybody. I mean, he's laying in bed typing up what he's going to say tomorrow morning, and reviewing it, and you never know what's going to be said by him, and he doesn't forget anything. And so I look up to you. You're the new mentor that we're going to be looking up to, and I thank you for that. Next up, Councilman Saab.
Council Chair. I want to thank all the residents of Dearborn Heights for putting their trust in me. I promise I will not disappoint any of you. I made promises and promises that I will keep. A few things I want to address though. The Eaton Center director. We still have not heard anything about that. And I'm just kind of, honestly, it's just been going on for so long. It's ridiculous. I said I hope we can get that up on the agenda or on the agenda at the next meeting. Secondly, I want to thank our clerk. Lynn, thank you for everything you do, honestly. you got a heck of a job you do every day, and I appreciate it. And to all my colleagues up on council, I hope to work with you, had great conversations with every single one of you. Hope to work together, move Dearborn Heights together, stand together, unite together, and make sure Dearborn Heights is represented equally on every corner of the city. Really, I just, if anybody has any issues or questions, honestly, reach out to me. I will get you answers. And I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman. Our very own Councilwoman Breyer.
I was gonna bring up the Eaton Center as well, and my understanding, I don't even know if it's been posted yet. I was told that is it posted? Is it recently? Has it been 2 weeks? I was told by HR at our last meeting that it was shortened to 2 weeks instead of a month. And I'm concerned about the rumors that there are other people being considered at a higher rate of pay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So we want answers to what's going on.
All right, thank you. Any other councilman? Is that all, Councilwoman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Chair. Happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year to everyone, to all our residents. Congratulations to our new Council Chair and our Chair Pro Tem. I'm very impressed at the way this meeting went. I thought it was run very well.
But Nancy, I wonder if Nancy thinks that.
Sure.
I think we all need to, as many of our residents are aware, and many of our residents have family in southern Lebanon, speak out and contact our elected officials at the federal level regarding the unilateral, unprovoked shelling and bombing and attacking of southern Lebanon. You know, there's a long history of this, and in addition to the tragedies that are going on, killing the civilians in Gaza. So just remind everyone to speak out and contact their elected officials and have their concerns heard.
Thank you, Councilman. Before we move forward, I don't want to take away from the Councilman, but I know our very own director from the CDBG department, Hassan Jamal's mother, recently passed away. I'd just like to do a quick moment of silence, a quick prayer on her behalf. All right, so sorry for your loss, Mr. Jamal, Director Jamal. Next up we have Councilwoman Maxwell.
He took the short way out.
Milowski Maxwell. Okay, we're just gonna go to Councilwoman Maxwell. Just for now. Just for now.
I'd like to take the time to thank the voters for putting me back on council. I look forward to working with each and every council member, and I'd like to congratulate Mo Beydoun on being council chair and for the short meeting. And also to the clerk for all she does. A lot of people don't know what she goes through behind the scenes. She does a lot for us. She is our backbone. Thank you.
Any other council members? Council chair? Councilman, Wenzel.
Just Councilman Wenzel for now.
I want to keep calling everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Council Chair. First of all, I'd like to congratulate our new council members, Malinowski and Saab, and congratulations to our newly elected officials, Mo Beydoun and Hassan Ahmed. Thank you all for coming out in person to the meetings. We had a packed house earlier, standing room only, literally. And it's we really appreciate seeing these faces out there. It really means a lot to us, and it's good when we see new faces. It means a lot. And thank you to all the people on Zoom that watch us religiously. And I want to thank the administration for paying out the holiday bonuses that we instructed them to do before the 31st. And from what I understand, in the motion that I made, that it was to be paid out before December 31st, and I think it was. Pretty sure it was. So congratulations to all you guys. Hope you spend that money wisely. And really quickly, each Center coordinator was supposed to be handled before December 31st. And that's something we gotta look into. When we make a motion to do something, we gotta set up criteria for handling that motion, not just pass the motion. Happy New Year to everybody. It's gonna be nice working with a new group of people up here. Should be fun. As I say at every meeting, I'm really family oriented, and this past Saturday went to the Home Depot workshop again. The first Saturday of every month, they have a great workshop, kids free family workshop. Make toys, you paint them. It's a really good time for the family. I had a big crowd there this past Saturday. And speaking of family, I think we should try to make this 2024 Dearborn Heights the year of the family. And do things that are oriented to family. New programs, recreation programs, different things in the city, activities. But there's no reason why we can't be known in the United States as Family City. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other council members? I think we've all spoken. I'm going to keep mine short to this council body here. Thank you so much for supporting me in this new position. I promise that I'm going to be as professional and as equal as possible. I'm just going to throw out a couple of, funny jokes once in a while, just to kind of lighten up the room, because that's who I am as a person. I can't be the person that's just going to be so down serious, and which, in times you're going to get that from me. But it's okay if we can smile during a professional meeting once in a while and throw in a couple of jokes. That's fine. I can assure you that it's not the end of the world. And I know many times people have said, I'm always emotional. And I want to reiterate that I'm not emotional. I'm just very passionate. I care. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't care and if I wasn't passionate for that. Also, I just want to bring up a couple of things. I know we're so quick to talk about grants that we're going to be potentially receiving from the city of Dearborn Heights. Dearborn Heights is going to get new water meters for $9 million, but we don't have the water meters or the $9 million. We're going to get this money. We're going to get that money. Roger, I know we've heard it so many times. But I want you to know that Dearborn Heights did get something. And I don't think that it was discussed or brought to anybody's attention. And the only reason why I found this out, a buddy of mine told me, wow, Dearborn got 24.1 or 21.4 or 21.5 million from Warren Avenue. So I said, what did Dearborn Heights get? This is for public safety, where we've had an individual, a resident, who has come here for the last year. The mother of Joy Smith is present with us. We have received $400,000 that's supposed to go to public safety. We have not been informed of this $400,000 grant.
It's the Safe Streets grant.
And the Safe Streets grant. I was going to get to it. I don't know why this wasn't brought to us, but I'm going to ask. Thank you. It's okay. I want to ask, and on the next meeting, that $1 million is going to go $400,000 from the grant and an additional $600,000 to be budgeted for all of public safeties at our schools in the city of Dearborn Heights. I think it's only fair. I think it's our children, and I think that we need to not ignore this. One like Joey Smith is one way too many. Are we waiting for the next child trust to finally say enough is enough? I'm sick of it. So, Madam Clerk, on the next agenda, please have that put forward. And with that, I also want to thank my beautiful wife, who I love dearly, who has really, seen me on the phone for the last 2 weeks, planning and making sure that things are going to go great in the city. And she said, anytime for me, I said, I promise you Wednesday. So Wednesday, nobody calls me.
We'll have baby number 3 on the way.
Next up, we have announcements from city officials.
Baby number 3 on the way.
Mike?
Well, hello, Council Chair and Mayor. Just want to talk about a couple of items. First off, this weekend will be a rare winter book sale. The closets have been cleaned and hundreds of boxes of donated and withdrawn books are ready for sale. We will be open at Carrollton County Library starting this Thursday 10 to 8 and Friday and Saturday 10 to 4. This will be overlapping with the MLK March this weekend at CK, so come on out for a great couple of events. Next, this Tuesday, January 16th at Carrollton County Library from 7 to 8:30 p.m. will be Epic Stained Glass in Metro Detroit. Join local architectural historian Dale A. Carson as he offers an examination of stained glass makers and artists and their art present in buildings in and around Dearborn Heights. So come on out for that. That's all for now. Thanks for your time and see you at the library.
Thank you, Mike. Next up.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys? I would first like to let everybody know that our ski and snowboard club has started. We started last week. We are going this week, Friday. We leave the Canfield Center from 3:30 to 4 p.m. and we go up to Mount Holly. So if anybody's interested in that, there are a lot of details on our city website, our Parks and Recreation website, so please go to that, and it will have the costs and all of the details and the bus information and stuff. I would also like to thank everybody who helped out with the tree lighting, which I thought was a huge, huge success this year. The Riverside After School Choir, Crestwood High School Jazz Band, the Police and Fire Department, Building and Maintenance Department, Mr. Jib, he left, but he did help me find our new tree, which is a little bit better shape than the last year tree. Santa and his elves, and the Crestwood High School youth volunteers, and especially my staff. Without them, the event would definitely not go as smooth as it does. So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have our Madam Clerk.
She's right here.
Yep. Well, I was seeing Tom walk in. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Lynn, your city clerk. Council Chair, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
But as I mentioned in the email that I sent to all of you, whoever was going to be council chair, your first meeting, well, besides this meeting, is 3 o'clock tomorrow because you're a member of the election commission, and we need you here. Yes, you. We won't keep you long. It won't be 3 hours. Maybe we'll try to keep it to an hour.
I got a meeting here tomorrow at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
Get ready, Mo.
This is a reminder.
You're gonna call me tomorrow at like 2 and remind me. And you're gonna talk to my wife. I'm not.
We won't keep you long. We'll try to get
It's
to
in my
it.
honor.
Y'all heard me, right?
If you left in the room, it's gonna light everything up.
Council Chair Pro Tem. Council Chair Pro Tem. No. Congratulations to you too. I look forward to working with all of you. Okay, but I couldn't do it all without our council secretary.
Yes.
Because all the recommended motions. In addition to our deputy clerk and our clerk sadly in their office, okay? Besides council though, you know we do elections. This year is very busy for us. So the first one I'm gonna talk about, we have a special election on January 30th. It's just for precinct 8, and so don't worry if you're in another precinct because you're not voting this one.
Okay.
It's for, precinct 8 is roughly Joy to Warren and Inkster to, I don't know, not to Beach Daily, but somewhere in between.
What precinct is it? What?
Precinct 8.
What voting location?
Well, there we go. We moved it here. For that election, we moved it here because it's only one precinct.
What usually is it?
So it's at Riverside.
Okay.
Okay, it's just 7 and 8 are at Riverside. But the reason why they were is because, I think his name's Kevin Coleman. He was the state rep number 12 for 25. He was elected for the mayor, so this is the of Westland. So this is the primary. So this is just a reminder that anyone that's in precinct 8, they still can get their AB ballots in our office. You can see the booths are up there, that's what they're up for. The day of the election, they can vote here at City Hall in this room. And then, I think that's it for that one anyway. I do want to, so we have 5 elections this year. The January 30th, February 27th is a big one. It's the presidential primary. Okay, I want to extend a sincere thank you to District 7 schools because we did not know when this election was going to be. They moved it around. It was supposed to be in March. Anyway, there's schools in session. District 7 is working with us here in terms of superintendent. So we're going to move all those polling locations, 23 through 27, to Annapolis.
Ooh.
And then Crestwood is working with us too as far as the safety of the kids. Our library director, he agreed to have moved 19, which was at Robichaud, to the JFK library. The Eaton Center will host the precincts 21 and 22. All of the voters in those precincts will be getting notification. Josie's working with us on that. And a sincere thank you to Kim, Parks and Rec Director Kim, for hosting early voting, because that's with the passage of Prop 2 in November of 22. There's going to be 9 days of early voting. I'll get into more of that when it gets closer to that, but it starts February 17th. All voters will be getting a postcard on that too. I think that's it, and that's going to be at the Canfield Center. will be open 8:30 to 4:30, starting Saturday, February 17th through Sunday, February 25th. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank all of you.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Round of applause to you. All right, any other announcements from?
Yes.
There she is.
It's the new year, so we still have the Ecorse Creek will meet on Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday of the month. That's the 24th at 3335 South Beach Daily, the Westwood Community School District admin building. And on the 25th, same location. Oh, that one's at 6 o'clock. On the 25th, we will have our neighborhood association meeting. On the 25th, same location, but at 7 p.m. And our speaker that evening is going to be our own LED, who's not here right now, but he's going to fill us in on all the things that are now happening. And I also know for a fact that we have at least 16 homes approved along the creek to be demolished. And the residents will be able to go forward somewhere else. That's going to happen fairly soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, next up we have public comments. I just want you guys to know, I am so sorry, Mr. Jamal. We have on Zoom. Forgive me. We can do it next time. You got him? Go ahead, Mr. Jamal. Are you speaking as a resident? Or are you speaking as a city official?
City officials for announcement. Thank you, Chair. I congratulate you and the others who been added to the council. Some of them I worked with before. And I hope we work together as we did in the past. The announcement will be, please, for the public and Dearborn Heights, especially for the ones along the Ecorse Creek, you will be receiving a notice from a legal firm called OD and Hummer. Those represent the City Department of Economic and Community Development. The letter will state, if you are interested in selling your house through the program of FEMA for the city to be demolished, please answer the legal letter. There is no obligation whatsoever. There is no dominant demand. It is voluntary program. Please answer that you are, so I can proceed and actually send the appraiser to your place so we can appraise and move with buying the house from you, and you can move along with your life.
Thank you.
Please, we have $2.8 million approved. It's in the federal bank for us through the state of Michigan, Michigan State Police. They are waiting for us to send them who wanted to do that and move on with it. I think my staff, very, very short staff, 2 part-timers, actually, and 1 in and out, working part-time with other county, for helping me and moving on with this. Thanks for all the council who pushed this forward very hard.
Mr. Jamal.
And have a great day.
Mr. Jamal, I got a quick question for you. Please just answer yes or no. Please. We don't want to go into detail. Yes or no?
I am still in Seoul, so go ahead.
Okay. Did your employees receive the raise that this council approved for during budget hearing? Just yes or no?
No.
Thank you. Please mute them.
Now I want to thank you for the moment of silence for my mom.
Thank you so anytime. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Roger, can you ensure that council approved over a year ago for them to receive the raise? They're part-time employees. The city's not paying for them. The federal government is paying them. It's not a part of our budget. I don't know why we haven't given them the raise yet. I'm going to back and forth. Can you look into it for me? Maybe email me on it? Thank you so much. All right, next up we have public comments. Please look over to our council pro tem, Ahmad, who will give you a heads up. I just want everybody to know you're entitled to say whatever you want. You want to swear, because I know I got to stay very swear. However,
Oh.
if you are going to be out of line, I'm gonna ask for you to be removed and not to come back. I'm just setting ground rules.
So polite swearing, got it. I can do this.
State your name.
Najat Janoon, Dearborn Heights, Whitefield Street. So I have to say that this is, I keep hearing like the same recurring, thing every time I come to a meeting. We asked for this and we didn't get it. We asked for that and it hasn't happened. And I'm really annoyed because the last meeting I was at, I was here when you guys voted to retire Twix and give Twix to his handler. And how and why Twix was no longer with his handler, and now that relationship and that bond, I'm sure, is broken after no longer being with him for several months. I'm like, it's so frustrating that I keep saying to myself, why do I come back to these meetings? But I come back because once you know something, it's so hard to unknow it. And once you see things happening, it's so hard to say, I'm just gonna sit home and close my eyes and pretend I don't know. The comptroller's no longer here, and I know myself, Margaret, we've come to these meetings for so long discussing our crossing guards and safety for these kids, and we barely ever have crossing guards at our district, or any of the districts. So how we're over budget and how we no longer have funds for crossing guards is kind of blowing my mind. I've come to meetings and stood up here, Margaret has stood up here, asking the same question over and over, why don't we have crossing guards? The city's responsible for paying crossing guards. Where's that money going? How are we over budget? Who are we paying? So my question is are we paying police officers? Because there have been times where I was happy to see them, glad to see that there were officers there. But is that where the money's going? Because we're not paying crossing guards, and we're only in school 180 days a year, so many hours, we're not in school full year round. If you think about how many buildings we have, they're there a couple hours a day. If we were sitting there trying to figure out crunch numbers, and we said, even if we said 3,000 hours, 3,000 hours, 36, $18 an hour, which when Dave, okay, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Anyways, we have like $54,000 a year. We budgeted $95,000. Where's the money? Doesn't make sense. There's, I know we just, you guys were discussing, the union negotiation, all this. I don't feel like, I don't know who was asking, Bob was saying wanted to bring them in to discuss, what you give it to. I don't see anybody wanting to come in. Forget it, I'm done. Anyway, I can't keep seeing the thing, but my biggest concern was the crossing guards and safety for these kids. Why don't we have money? Why is everything always, well, we asked for this and we haven't gotten it. Why is it the same thing over and over and over and over again? What are you guys gonna do about it? Thank you.
Can't see that sign. It's so frustrating. They need the countdown timer like these.
Right? I don't want to see it. I want to hear it. Was it? Tell me to go sit down.
I do, sir, please state your name, your address, don't name just your street, the city you reside in. Mohammed Jani Evangelist.
Happy New Year to everyone, and congratulations to the new council members and the old council members. Congratulations on your positions, both of you. I'm here to speak on a couple of things. Number one, I'm really trying to wrap this around my head is, how much money do we pay the comptroller that she stands up here and just can't answer the simple questions?
$115,000 a year.
I don't get it. I could do it for a lot less.
Okay. I'm already doing it for free.
Honestly, this is absolutely ridiculous. She has a title, she has an attitude, and I'm sorry, I just don't like her. Let alone she can't answer simple questions. I mean, isn't she full-time? I don't get it, but that's not why I'm up here. That's just, I needed to get that off my chest. The real reason I'm up here is, over the last year, I think I've been up here, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. And the reason why I've been up here is, I keep asking, now this is 2024, and Council Chair brought up the fire station on Beach Daily, and how dangerous it is. I can't agree with you more. And my point is, I'd like to turn the lights on for the kids in the morning. I want to piggyback what the nice lady who came up and spoke prior to me. I'd like to address what I've been addressing each time I come up here. The kids, their safety, crossing beach daily is an incredible, dangerous situation. There's a light there. The fire department or the fire building station is condemned. Why isn't this moving faster? Mr. Deeb left early. I'm so sad he left. I wanted to address it to him. Guys, this is 24. Can we get answers? Can we get this done? This is, as we all agree, this is not for me, it's for the kids. Safety is number one. This has been, $10 million has been approved. Why aren't we moving forward? What's the timelines? I keep getting pushed back and pushed back. Please, can you put it on the agenda for the next council meeting to address this specifically? And let's get some closure and get these, we're supposed to all come together as a city and paint the road and put some yellow or red or something on the road. Didn't happen. Let's get this done. This is our kids. This is our city. Nobody's going nowhere. How many more times do I need to come up here and ask for this to get done? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, please state your name, the city you reside in, the street.
Pam Sporkle, Dearborn Heights, I'm Kinmore. Right? I'd like to thank you guys for doing the right thing and correcting something that was wrong and that has been a cancer to the police department. The officers that have left deserve better respect, being treated better, and for a city attorney to sit and say that, yeah, you can shake your head, but for you to sit and say, you don't talk, it's my turn. It's my turn. It is my turn.
Stop.
It's my turn.
Hang on, 1 second. Hang on, Roger. I just said it earlier here. We're not gonna interrupt. She's entitled to her stuff. If you feel like you can't stomach it, please then wait in the hallway. And then please stop and don't interrupt. Let them have their 3 minutes. If she wants to talk about a cat, let her talk about a cat.
I don't want cats.
Please respond at the end. You're taking away from her time. Please. So last time, we're not doing this back and forth.
Every officer that left this department went pretty much someplace else, to Michigan State Police, Huron Township, Trenton, Troy, Sterling Heights, Oakland County, Troy, Ann Arbor, Trenton, Ann Arbor, Roseville, U of M, Huron Township, Trenton, Ann Arbor, Oakland County, Green Oaks Township, Cambridge Township, and a few more, which means that they all have active police licenses. They were not fired. They were not taking their license away where they could no longer practice police. They have their certified MCOs. So you trashing them.
Please adjust the chair when you speak.
So this city attorney disrespecting these officers who have active licenses and are currently working at other cities because they left here because of the mistreatment that they went under is not right. So I'm very happy that you guys corrected what these new officers getting hired in is not going to have to endure. But for a city attorney to sit and say the golden circle and start forming opinions from people that he's never even met in his life really puts the city at a liability, because he, as a city attorney, isn't allowed to give his personal opinion when he's sitting in the council chair's attorney seat. That's a personal opinion. I know for a fact he's never met my husband, so to say something and loop my husband because he's one of these officers that left, he's out of line. And what that's done is opened up this city to 33 lawsuits because you've just slandered officers that, yes, you have slandered officers that have active MPOS license that did not get fired, who voluntarily left for better working conditions. So I think that with this council, I'm very happy that you guys are respecting the police department. I think that the police officers need your guys' support, and I think that you guys need to stick up and defend them a little bit better. My husband was born and raised, lived in Dearborn Heights, worked here for 32 years, raised our children in Dearborn Heights, bought our house in Dearborn Heights. His whole career was in Dearborn Heights. And for a city attorney to sit there on the city's dime getting paid to disrespect him is out of line. You are way too emotional. You should not be in a position of power because you are very offensive to people that you've never even met. You've never even met these people, but you're going to talk stuff about them.
Refer everything to the council chair.
He has never met people that he's talking very negatively about And as a police officer, the only thing you have is your reputation. So as a city attorney, he should really be careful about who he's slandering.
Thank you, Pamela. Have a great day. Roger, would you like to respond?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
We don't need to hear it.
The word is accountable, and I met your husband, and I reviewed all the discipline issues. I met him many times, as well as most of the officers who resigned. So,
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any other public comments?
At all.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right. Name yours, please. Name.
Congratulations, Mo. Congratulations, Hassan. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, Mo. I don't know if you saw me. I was in tears that you announced that.
Now we gotta use it.
That's my concern, and that's why I'm here, because I said you won't stop seeing my face until something is done. I said that at the last meeting on the 12th. It was mentioned earlier about the grants and how it just doesn't go into the account. Honestly, I was hoping to hear from the mayor and Ali Deeb about how this works, so we can be transparent and what's our next steps, but that will hopefully be done at the next meeting. I can't thank you enough that we have the grant, and thank you for that, but
Don't think me, I had nothing to do with it. I just saw that we got something and I just brought it to
you
light.
mentioned it, Mo. I was hoping to hear that from the mayor or Ali Deeb. You mentioned that. He left at 7:41.
Who's that?
The mayor.
With a fake phone call.
But I don't know. It hurts me, and I hope that what's it covered? Does it cover the streets for the schools? What's it covered? And I won't get my answer until next meeting. But thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Do you have any other announcements here? The Honorable Rose Tripetti. 2 Main Street.
I will not yell at you.
All right.
I just would like, congratulations everyone. Rose Tripetti, 2 Lane Street, Dearborn Heights, Wayne County, Michigan.
Thank you.
I congratulate all of you up there and all you've done. But I want you to realize something. The mayor doesn't run the city, the administration doesn't run the city, police, fire, and DPW. That's it. We can do without all the rest of them. We need those 3. Please take care of them. And us seniors, if we don't end up getting what we want, you'll be picketed. That's not a threat, that's a promise. Have a good night.
I'll join them.
Right up there with you today. Sir, you asked for an extra minute and 20 seconds here as well. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going to try to be short, especially since Denise is back. I'm trying to be well behaved. But I may take it if necessary. Thank you.
All right, go ahead. You got your 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. What I wanted to start off with is thank you for your vote on especially 8B. I'm very encouraged by the City Council. I think you're showing some assertiveness and some institutional strength that I think is really necessary, so well done. The other thing I was going to do is suggest that you change your procedures to allow people to comment in public comment on claims.
Amen.
Technically speaking, it is not allowed. So, for example, I hate to bring this to your attention now, but, you know, there were 2 entries on Mr. McCool's billings that I think you approved that were for, one of them was a phone conversation with Attorney Matt Schenk regarding mayoral recall petition, and another one was review and respond to electronic communication from Mayor Bazey regarding recall petition and attorney representing the residents circulating the petition. And so the city was charged $137.50 that...
It's illegal.
Yeah, well, basically Rachel said it. So I just wanted to point that out.
How much was the total?
$137.50, I believe. It's the entries for 7/10/23, which was $82.50, and 7/13/23, which was $55.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Please pause this time. Roger? Yes or no? I know you don't like answering yes or no. Of course not.
Mr. Miyake, didn't you bill $45 just to carry a check from your office to City Hall?
What does that have to do with
What this has to do with the
Roger,
What would you like?
Please stop that. This is out of line. This is a resident at the end of the day, regardless of you guys' differences. Don't bring that to these chambers no more. Leave that out for the court. Don't bring that into the chambers anymore. Carry yourself in a more respected manner, please, because that's out of line. Please, come point of order, Roger. Roger, point of order, I'm gonna ask you to leave, Roger. Please, Roger, stop it. I have a question for you. I don't care what your differences are.
What's your question?
My question is, can the mayor or should the residents be held responsible for the mayor's recall position? Yes or no? I'll answer it for you. No, we can't. It's
The mayor
illegal.
paid for his own lawyers.
What is that?
I thought the mayor paid for his own lawyers.
It's in the complaints.
Roger, the question is, yes or no? Are we allowed to pay for his recall phone conversation with McCool?
The mayor never charged you for paying for any recall petition.
All right, my question is over. Start his time.
It was actually Mr. McCool had it on
I know,
his
Mr.
bill.
McCool represents the city, represented the mayor on the thing, which was a huge conflict of interest.
You're saying that the mayor gave advice, or was taking advice from Mr. McCullough
No,
about the recall petition?
Yes.
Apparently, it's
That's
on.
not accurate.
It's
It's on the
right in here.
claims.
What does it say?
71023 CRM.
Read it.
Review and respond to electronic communication from Mayor Bazey regarding recall petition and attorney representing the residents circulating the petition. 0.3 hours, $82.50.
Okay. All right, the caller
Okay,
is the
another
labor.
one.
I'm answering. Is
Okay,
the
no,
labor-
I'm answering. 71323 CRM, phone conversation with attorney Matt Shank regarding mayoral recall petition. 0.2 hours, $55.
Mr. Naki, that's how you handled it when you were the corporation counsel. The problem is, they have to talk because it's a labor issue. Okay, no. There's two directors. They've been appointed. Of course, the other lawyer's gonna call that labor lawyer and find out the statistics of what happened and the contract.
Bye. Start your time. Roger, we're done with this conversation. I don't want to hear it no more. Please start his time, go ahead and continue.
Okay, the other thing I was going to point out, and I think you did a good job, tabling the Coda Group Inc. This struck me as really odd. I do have some knowledge about this. In the past, when we had more people in the police department, the officers in charge would serve subpoenas. All right? It wasn't done by some special Coda group. And, you know, MCL 600.259 says that this is about the standard fees that are recognized when you're going to end up charging for costs. For a subpoena directed to a witness, including a judgment debtor, $26 plus mileage. These are all $75 straight up in terms of a charge. And each one. And there's even one here for 9/15/2023, subpoena service OIC Detective Lieutenant Michael Gazowski. Lieutenant Gazowski, as far as I know, is the primary person in the detective bureau. Why would you have to end up having a private process server go off and serve him with a subpoena when you can just like say, here it is. And when people are still employed, what you just do is they just put them into their boxes, and there's where the subpoena is. And then they show up for court, and if they don't show up for court, then they'd be disciplined. So, you know, having to pay a private company $75 for something like this is, I don't understand it. Especially $75, and instead of $26, I'm sorry, it just seems excessive. And thank you for doing that. And then I guess I'll just leave it at that. Again, well done. Your first meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Chairman.
I want to go back and forth.
I just want to.
Roger, we're not going back and forth.
I'm back and forth.
Please let it go.
Explanation, because.
Roger, he's speaking as a resident. I'm not doing it.
Well,
Please.
you know,
Roger,
right
please, point of order, Roger. Roger, please. Point of order. Next
We
resident,
had
please.
to hire a company to serve.
Roger, point of order, Roger.
Should have followed the charter.
The charter says I can speak and respond.
Rachel LaPointe. I don't believe the charter says anything about public comment or speaking. Merrick Street, Dearborn Heights, I've read that thing so many damn times. Fun things before I get to the really fun things. The charter says that all elected officials are considered to be department heads. And it also says that department heads set the rules and procedures for hiring within their department. So each of you could hire a staff. So, Chairman, if you need a secretary or something, assist you with scheduling all those meetings and fun things, hire somebody. The charter says you can. Just do the budget amendment first. Emotional is not a bad thing. If you don't have emotions, you're dead, literally. Then that's a dead person. Emotions are a good thing, okay? They give us purpose. They give us a reason to do things. Now the really fun stuff. Opinion number 6704. Michigan Attorney General Frank J. Kelly at the time, because this was in 1991. He also references other opinions from the 70s, the 80s, all this stuff, that very clearly states that a municipality may not pay a penny for any recall-related items. Not a penny. The mayor should resign. Roger should resign. If he didn't know the answer to that question, if he couldn't Google real quick attorney opinion, AG opinion letters to give you guys that advice, he should have said, I'm not sure of the answer tonight. I will be getting back to you as soon as I can. The mayor should resign because not only did he show that he knows that his campaign is supposed to pay for the recall because he raised over $6,000 this summer, which he then spent on the recall. So he knows that's where it's supposed to get funded from. He is purposefully, at this point it has to be purposefully, charging the residents for his recall, for his election. It's considered an election. He should resign immediately. I hate to say that on the first meeting of the year, but this is unconscionable. I don't know why we can't figure these things out. Maybe it's just because certain people need to find new callings in life. I'm not sure. But the taxpayers are never supposed to pay for elections. We're not supposed to be paying for that unless we choose to on our own dime. So I would advise you guys maybe to suspend the rules, revoke that claim approval immediately. Oh, and also I would fire Arbitrary Deacons because clearly Christopher McCullough, who was here and left, feels perfectly comfortable charging taxpayers for election stuff. So let's clear house.
Thank you, Council Chair.
Are you speaking as a resident or are you speaking
as a resident of Dearborn?
I'm so sorry, Roger, there was one person ahead of you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Suzanne Horoshevsky. I'm on Culver Street in Dearborn, South End. And anyways, I'm kind of surprised that the mayor wasn't here because let me just tell you that I had a run-in with him yesterday and at the city hall paying a bill. And anyways, on Annapolis from Palm all the way to Bedford School. This whole year and a half, I have observed children almost getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot be seen because of the lighting. I have 13 grandchildren.
God bless them and God bless you.
And let me tell you, so anyway, when I seen the mayor, it was yesterday, he said, well, send me an email regarding, the safety, the issue in all the streets. And so I did such. And one of the things that surprised me is today I got a response that said, I sent this to DTE. And I'm hoping he did not forward my personal email to DTE. There's multiple reasons why. So I'm hoping that did not happen. So was he supposed to, were any of you aware of the fact that them having a meeting with DTE in the next 2 days?
No, we're not told them many things.
Because that's what so I'm just telling you that's when I was told about that. And I also additionally went to the principal at Bedford School, went to the principal over there to let her know the dangers, because the kids, when they leave the school, they can't even see. It's either dark at 5:30, 6, 7 in the morning, or dark when I see them going down the street, and you can't see them. The kids on bikes have dark brown jackets, da-da-da-da-da. Just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm so
so
sorry.
something has to
This
be
is
done.
something-
He should have been here because I would have, he knows he's seen me yesterday about this, so.
Thank you for coming in. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
no
that
problem.
you came here. But if you could do me a favor, can you give your phone number and email address over to George?
Okay.
George, can you just share her contact info with me tomorrow and I'll give you a call, ma'am?
Okay.
Roger, you speaking as a resident or you speaking as a corporation counsel?
Resident Dearborn and as corporation counsel.
Well, no, I need to know if you're speaking as one, are you
But
speaking?
do as a resident.
Thanks, you.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, you got
Thank
3
Council
minutes.
Chair. No problem.
Guys, point of order, nothing from the audience, please. Pamela, please.
We had a problem with a number of officers resigned, finding them. The state prosecutors and the judges asked because officers were not showing up to court. So we have to get them to court, we have to get a way to do that. As a lot of them have left for different departments for different reasons, we had to hire a company on an emergency basis, then we took the 3 quotes to get them served and get the process moving and to keep our judicial system working, which we were successful. As towards Miss Swarple, yes, I met her husband. I reviewed a number of issues that they had in the department with him, personally, as well as all the officers who have left. I work with them because they come to court and they come through the system. And I just want to say that in terms of the Chris McCool's bill, if you believe, and I wasn't involved in it, but if you're defending a recall petition, of course, you're going to have, especially with the subject is a labor issue and a contractual issue. So therefore, you will have to talk to the labor attorney that has the information and privy to the contracts to properly go forward with this. That's why it would show up on the bill.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other residents that are here in the audience?
Well, but he lied. It's all a lie.
Please, point of order.
Yeah, you never met him.
Guys, please, come on, guys. Roger, moving forward, can you inform the police chief that we'd like to have a police officer with us present? Thank you. Sorry, loud.
Good evening. 354 Rosemary, Dearborn Heights.
Thank you.
Just to remind you. You guys are surprised about the misbilling on some of the claims. Those should have been reviewed by the city attorney and signed by the city attorney before they are paid. And the mayor should review every contract before it goes to the city council agenda. That's his job by charter. I want to bring to you, first I want to thank you very much for the nice plaque you gave me today. Thank you, especially you, Mr. Councilman Ahmed. And I thank you guys for the support you gave me when I was on the council. And I thank all the residents who supported me too, yourself, and lots of people in the audience. It came to my attention March last year. Z the cook. Did you ever hear of Z the cook?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You did. Do you know what she does? Okay, the city council did not see a bill for $2,250. She came, and according to the document I got from the treasury when I was on the council, that she came and gave 2 sessions. I think each session was 1 hour or 2 hours. From 1 o'clock to like 5 o'clock, she charged the city $2,250. This contract, I don't know what she taught people in the city about leadership or about cooking. None of you knows what she did. All I know that she charged the city that much money. In order for this mayor not to bring it to the city council for approval because it's over $1,500, he cut 2 checks, one for $900 and one for $1,200 or $1,350. So he's going around the ordinance and violating the ordinance of the city. So you guys don't see, if I don't know what is his relation to Z the cook, but to bring somebody to teach us about leadership and pay him $500 an hour without your approval. So don't be surprised how much this crook will do to the city.
Point of order.
And I,
Point of
and I
order.
take my responsibility for the work.
Please don't do that. Thank you. All right, do we have any other residents? Anyone on Zoom and Court? I don't see anybody. Adjourn.
It's not even 10 o'clock yet.
Hold on, guys. Settle down.
I'd like the motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Those, two items, what items were they, Jerry, on that?
137.50.
Yeah.
There was also a redacted one that matches the length. You should check the redacted too.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
You should check the redacted.
We'll talk, we do have somebody on Zoom, Madam Clerk.
I don't see, oh, wait a minute, you can.
I think it's my little brother. Yeah, go ahead, call on him. Tell him he's got 10 seconds.
You're gonna be Angela?
Hello, council. I just want to make this really short and simple. I just wanted to say that I'm really excited to see what 2024 brings you guys. I'm really excited to see new faces on this council, and I know you guys are going to do really well. Congratulations to all.
Thank you. Have a good night. By the way, Councilman, guys, I need you to come back. Councilman, this will actually violate the Open Meetings Act. It does. Let's not do that.
Let's keep it. It's okay with Mr. Winslow.
We got a motion to adjourn? So moved.
No one seconded it, right? No one seconded it?
Second.
No? No one seconded my motion?
Nobody did.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we're not suspending the rules. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn by Councilman Ahmad, second by Councilman Saab. All in favor, please state aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. It's not 10 o'clock. We did it.